And we are back with a brand new edition. It is Monday, so there's that part. But let me introduce myself. My name is Jen. I'm your manifestation bestie, where I teach you how to leverage the law of assumption to work in your favor. I already know that sounds good to you, so go ahead and click that follow button or subscribe wherever you're watching from. I have a live event coming up April 4th where I'm going to help you release your negative emotions, which is going to really propel your manifestation forward, because you won't have those negative emotions holding your ass back anymore. So go ahead and grab your spot. You will get lifetime access to the replay, of course. Thanks, Amanda, girlfriend. You'll get lifetime access to the replay, and I also did set up the automation, so if you register now, you will also get access to my Eliminate Your Negative Beliefs course. So yeah, hey, Anna Marie. So you will have access to that as well. Okay, and so that, if you already signed up, don't worry, because I will, hey, unapologetically me, I will go ahead and email you the link to, or access to, the Limiting Beliefs course. Okay. Oh, right. Also, if you're interested in having me, hey, Mina, if you're interested in having me manifest your SP for you, or you want to book a one-on-one call with me, where we can figure out where you're going wrong so you can get it right. Hey, Doodles girlfriend. Then go ahead, and all links are in my bio. Also, hey, Jay. Also, if you, we have a free WhatsApp community, but it is going to turn to a paid subscription as of today. So, hey, Matthew Bestie. So be sure to get into the WhatsApp group now. Why? It is free, because you can get inspired. Hey, Brandy girlfriend. You can get inspired by all the success stories. Duh. Also, I go live every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. Hey, Erica. What's going on, sister? Hey, Angela Queen. Also, I go live every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. So if you ever miss a live, I always upload them, typically same day, if not the next day. Hey, Ren, on the tube of you. So subscribe while you're there. Let the lives play. Just mute the volume. I don't really care. Help me get my watch hours up so that we can spread the word that it's about leveraging the law of assumption. It's not about following the law, because who decided that you needed to follow the law when you just need to know the principles and can leverage? So it works in your favor. Hey, Susan. So let me take a look at it, Mina. Hey, Patriot Vibes. So let me go ahead and, yes, there we go. I saw her message, but I was on calls. Hey, Dade. I was on calls, so Lisa, I will handle you as soon as I'm off of said live, although I have a shit ton of calls today. Hey, Ashley, girlfriend. I have a crap ton of calls back to back to back. So there's that part, but it's okay, because I love you all. Now let's talk about something, okay? So sometimes, hey, Josie, sister. Oh, I'm going to respond to you since you're back, okay? Hey, Jackie. Literally your name. I love it. Nadine, I will respond to you, sister. Okay, so let's talk about something, because some of you guys have a little bit of resistance, okay, when it comes to whether you believe your affirmations, and I told you a million times you don't have to believe them, okay, for them to still work. Let's take the most recent success story in our WhatsApp community, right? She literally was blocked. She found me. She watched my lives. Hey, Joe Bestie. Listened to my rants and got out of her own way. Went from being blocked. Hey, Marithi. Dish girl, what happened? What happened? Tell me. I love this success story. Oh, hey. Oh, what's up, Mar? Tell me your success story. Because somebody posted in there, she found my lives 2 days ago, and of course, he texted you yesterday. Why wouldn't he? I'm so excited for you. Now keep it natural, okay? Keep it natural. Don't push and force the 3D, okay? Responding back is not forcing the 3D, okay? It is a matter of, it's a matter of begging and pleading, pleading your case, apologizing, groveling. That's forcing the 3D. Right? Asking questions that you don't know the answer to. Okay, that's forcing the 3D. And why would we don't want to do that. You don't ask a question that you don't, because you wouldn't ask a question if you knew the answer to that. Okay? And we're going to talk about the power of asking questions. To yourself, bitch. To yourself. Okay? To yourself. But anyway, back to this girl. So all of a sudden she was blocked, went from unblocked to had an argument because obviously we can't shut the hell up. Listen to what I said on my lives for 2 days and my bitching rampages, and guess what? She woke up to 3 calls from him saying, hey, call me, Ma. Of course she did. Right? You can turn everything around. She thought she screwed it up. You never screw it up unless you tell yourself that, right? So she turned the shit around. That's my point, is it turned around quickly. She wasn't like, you know, it took 5 months. It was like the next day. He called her 3 times. Hello. It's in my stories on TikTok if you want to validate what I just said. It's also in the WhatsApp group, but that's the point, okay? That's the point of this. So let's go ahead and see what some people are saying before I talk to you about the power of asking questions. Okay, my SP broke up with me because he said I'm too good for him. How do I manifest it back? This is, a lot of people have this issue, right? Which is why I tell you guys, a lot of times it's not self-concept, it's not your problem, okay? But what typically why they say you're too good for me is because you've done nothing but bitch and complain in your mind about him. All the things he's not doing for you, how he's not your perfect person, how, you know, he's not showing up for you, and all these things, right? So now what does he say? You're too good for me. Right? Because that's what you're telling him, right? Because you control his thoughts. So if you're constantly bitching about how he's not doing things for you, how he's not showing up for you, how he's not doing this, he's not doing that, well then guess what? Now he thinks you're too good for him. So you can manifest him back easily, okay? By changing the inner conversations you're having in your mind about him. Instead of bitching about him and focusing on the person he is today, you need to recreate him. You need to go back to the time in your relationship where he was perfect, where he checked all the boxes, right? Where he showed up for you in a way you wanted him to show up for you, when he was doing the things you wanted him to do. And describe him that way only moving forward, is you have to see them differently. What part of that is unclear to all of you? You must see them differently. When you see them differently, they show up differently. Right? I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be over here manifesting him to contact me when I see him as an asshole. Because 1, he may not contact me. And 2, if he did, it ain't going to be nice. It isn't going to be nice. Right? So the thing is to not react. Don't react to what they say. Don't listen to what the fuck he said. Because he's only reflecting your conversations in your mind anyway. So there's no need to listen to what came out of his mouth. Instead of verbalizing, it has to be in here. The change happens here and pushes out here. Okay? Bestie, my heart is hurting. I just want to give up. Why, Divine Valley, is your heart hurting? Why? And why do you want to give up? You can't give up. I won't let you. I won't let you, but what you're going to do is persist. Hey, Marisol, I'm doing fantastic today. How are you, Bestie? Okay, you need to persist, okay? You need to, what you're doing here, why your heart is hurting, is because you are constantly in your own thought space about all the things you don't want. You can't do that. You cannot do that, okay? I just talked to somebody. Sorry, I can see text coming across, and it's my parent-children conference that we're going to have tomorrow when I'm ready. They want to meet at 7:30 at night. I was like, oh, no, sorry, that's not going to work for me. So we're doing 6:30 tomorrow. Yay, me. Yay. So not excited, but hey. Anyway, I tell you guys that I just talked to somebody earlier, right? And she has done what I said. She stopped the subliminals, right? Subliminals don't work, guys. So like, get over it, okay? She stopped the subliminals, started listening to her own affirmations while she sleeps. Hey, Mel B. And guess what? She's had him in her, she's dreamt about, he's been in her dreams for the past 7 days. And I always tell you guys, if they show up in your dreams, that means that you're also in their dreams, okay? On top of that, then she, just like the mirror had experienced, She actually ran into him for the first time ever at a coffee shop. Saw him twice in the same day. This is like the fourth person that has said in the past couple of days they've randomly ran into their SPs, whether it's driving down the road, walking down the street. Those are all really good signs. Those are all really good signs to keep going, because now this is thought transmission, right? Somehow they get the idea to show up at the exact same place you happen to be at. Yeah. Why not have them come to you? Have you ever thought about that? If you're out somewhere, be like, yeah, I'm totally going to see him today. I don't know how. Doesn't matter. I'm going to see him today. And I'm going to this coffee shop. Say it out loud. Hey, I'm Katie, girlfriend. Say it out loud. And then, you know what? Or to yourself. And then all of a sudden, don't be surprised if you happen to run into them. Thanks, I'm Katie, girlfriend. So that's what I'm saying. See, look at that mirror. Good. That means that your manifestation is like almost here. So keep going. Persist, 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 persist. Oh, and you're going to go see him today. Mar. I love that. But control the outcome. Okay? Control the outcome. Okay? You're not nervous. You are excited, right? It's the same feeling inside. Okay? It's the exact same feeling inside. So no, nervous about what? I'm not nervous about anything. I'm excited because we are going to have the best time of our lives. We're going to reconnect. We're getting back together. All that stuff is exactly what's going to happen when you go to see him today. Control the narrative. Okay? That's right. That's right, Flashy. And I saw his response. Ugh. Yeah. I like that you took my advice. Ugh. Yeah. Don't worry. He's keeping your side of the bed warm. He's getting divorced because of me. I realize. Oh, good. Hopefully Shanae is on here and is listening to what Anna Maria is saying. Okay? Shanae, when she watches the replay. Oh, right, Shanae? So I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, Anna Maria. Right? She said it continuously. She said it continuously, guys. You have to say things continuously, okay? Repetition is what works. Repetition, repetition, repetition. And so it's actually funny, to be quite frank. I'm on my friend's email list who also teaches manifestation. And I told her, I said, bitch, I sent her a message after I read the email. I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You did not create affirmations. So I don't know why. She's literally passing it off like she created affirmations. And I was like, girl, you did not create affirmations. Why does your email imply that you did? There you go, Anna Maria. Don't fuck this up because you're gonna have to find a new dentist. Okay? Have you ever seen the movie? What's the movie with the horror dentist? When he texts me, like, reply to my story, should I reply? Of course. Of course. Mars, why would you not reply if he texts you and he replies to your stories? Why not reply? I would. That's a conversation, right? That's not forcing the 3D. It's, hey, he messaged me, so yeah, that's what it is. So I'm going to reply. I'm going to reply and keep it in response to whatever he's messaging you about, okay? Mine once said he's scared from long distance and age gap. Teddy Bear, is there hey, Wendy, is there another part of this shit? Okay. All right, Teddy Bear. What do you mean he's scared? Scared of what? Yeah, he's scared because he's so in love with you. That's what he's scared about. He's scared because he's falling head over heels for you, wants to marry you, and he's obsessed with you. That's what he's so scared about, okay? He's so scared that I'm the love of his life. Okay. Plus, long distance and an age gap. The only reason why The only reason why long distance and an age gap is a problem is because you believe it is. Okay? You believe it's a problem. At some point in time, you may, because I've ran into this with a couple people, where they'll be like, well, he's younger than I am. Okay, so what? It'd be different. I would understand that you'd have a problem if you were like 55 and he was 18. That might be an issue, right? But oftentimes the age gap isn't that big. You know, isn't it weird though how it's totally socially acceptable to date somebody that's 10 years older than you as an adult, but as a child, that shit's weird, right? Like you're 10 and he's 25. But when we're adults, all of a sudden it doesn't matter. Just a little side note. But you may not be obsessing over it, but at some point in your thoughts, you have viewed long distance as possibly being an issue. Okay, or the age gap. Maybe you've said it like, I hope he's okay with, you know, the fact that I'm, you know, 10 years older than him, right? Or whatever. You've thought about that at some point, therefore it pushed out. Now it's a problem for him. So you've created these unnecessary obstacles, long distance and age. There's people all the time that date. My friend is dating somebody that's 25 years older than her, so actually she's married to him. So you can't see that as an obstacle. In fact, he loves the fact, let's say you're older. He only is attracted to older women. That's what he loves about me. He loves that I'm more mature, that I'm an older, that he absolutely he loves my age. Like my age is not a factor to him, right? Because the reality is, and this is where you have to remember, teddy bear, the reality is if any of this was an issue for them, they wouldn't have even started talking to you. It isn't like let's say you met online. It isn't like on your dating profile, you were like, I'm in the US when you're in India. You know what I'm saying? So he knew exactly where you were. He also knew how old you were. That wasn't a problem. It's only a problem now because you're creating that as a problem. You're questioning that. So if you would drop that shit and not question it, guess what? He ain't gonna care at all. He's not gonna give a damn. Somebody's going to see her SP that's 6,000 miles away. So what? Right? Because she doesn't view distance as an issue. Okay, you can't do that. Instead, it's like, no, you need to treat your relationship like he lives right next door. Okay? And that you're hot as fuck. Yeah, age is nothing but a number, as they say. And that is true. Age is nothing but a number. Hey, Glitter Sparkles. I'm going to call you later, Glitter Sparkles, okay? Only telling me he's in love with me. I am the only one. And he supports me. Telling he's in love with me. I am the only one. Hey, son. I persisted about him being avoidant for a long time because learning about manifesting it caused. You persisted about him being avoidant? I hope you mean about him not being avoidant. We don't want to persist in him being an avoidant, right? Because he has to show up that way. If that's your description of him, he has to avoid you. Why the hell would you want that, right? So I know you did that before the learning about manifestation. So let's change that. Hey, Kelly girlfriend. My heart was hurting today too. I couldn't believe in manifestation anymore. Brother, what are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about? If you literally look at everything in your reality right now, what do you mean you don't believe in manifestation? You're causing all this shit. You're causing all this shit. Being blocked, being ghosted. Thanks, MKD girl. Okay, you're causing all this shit. So, and you know this because you're inconsistent in your thoughts, therefore your reality is inconsistent, right? You want one thing, but you keep repeating the same old shit over and over again. Plus, I know you. You're listening to about 25 other fucking creators out there. Probably more than that with you. Probably more than that with you. And they're all telling you contradicting information, and now you're like not believing in manifestation anymore. What the fuck are you talking about? Knock that shit off. Knock it off. Because you know damn well that you created all this shit. So, you can create something else. That's right, Joe. That's right, Joe, because he tells everybody about you. He tells everybody about you. Again, you don't know what's going on. None of you guys know what's going on behind the scenes, so why are you questioning a goddamn thing? You don't need to question shit. It's not your job. It's not your job. Hey, Mel B, he went on a trip and didn't even tell me. He's never done that before. Okay, Divine Valley. So turn that around. He communicates everything with you. Like everything he does, he's always communicating with you. He communicates everything with me. Okay, it's likely up until him going on that trip, you started questioning his communication with you. Okay, therefore, he has to match that. Okay, he has to stop communicating with you if you're viewing communication as an issue. Like, you know, like let's say they pulled back a little bit. And now that's your new story. You're selecting new versions. Somebody who doesn't tell you everything, somebody who's not communicating with you. Therefore, he had to do that. So instead, turn it around and be like, no, he tells me everything. He literally communicates everything with me. But then be prepared for when he does that. Because I had a client who told him that. And then he started she's known him for like 20, 30 years. And she's like, he started telling me everything, like within 24 hours of her telling him that. And he started literally, Hazel, telling her everything to the point where she was like, he's never done this before. Is he cheating on me? And then her friend had to remind her, bitch, didn't you tell him that? She goes, oh, yeah, that's right. I did tell him. He communicates everything with me. Therefore, he does, right? They have to do that. They have to be that person for you. Okay, so that's what you need to pay attention to. Okay, Miss Scalo, I did. Do I need to check that now? Do we have an issue? Okay, and he won't tell me where he is or who he's with. Okay, Divine Valley, this is where discipline comes into play, okay? This is where discipline comes into play, is if he's not telling you where he is or who he's with, that's because he's going to surprise you, right? Tell yourself whatever the fuck else you want to hear. A lot of you guys, thanks, Soul. I think a lot of you guys forget how a lot of you guys, I don't think quite understand the subconscious mind and how it works. Okay, your subconscious mind doesn't know shit. And I had a conversation with somebody about it today. Because she was like, well, I don't understand. If I'm saying that we're in a relationship, right? If I'm saying we're in a relationship, but yet I run into him on the street and we have a casual conversation real quick, like, that's not a relationship. I said, now here's the thing. Thanks, Mel B. I said, I said, here's the thing. I said, your subconscious mind doesn't have eyes. Okay? So it has no idea who you're talking to on the street. It never has any idea who you're talking to at all. Okay? Like you could have a brief encounter with your SP and wave hi and tell yourself, he is so in love with me. My God, we just had the best conversation. We literally just had the best time together. That's all your subconscious mind knows. It has no idea that you ran into your SP on the side of the road and said hello. It has no idea that that's your SP. Okay, so you can still assign, you assign meaning to everything. Your subconscious mind does not have the ability to decide. Okay, it doesn't have an opinion at all. It does nothing but take you at your word. That's all it does is take you at your word. Okay, so whatever you tell yourself must become true for you. But oftentimes you guys assign negative ass meanings, or you create the narrative in your mind that you don't want, but that your subconscious mind takes you at your word. Okay, so it has to print it out for you. It has to push it out. It has one job, to prove you right. So what do you want it to prove you right about? You want it to prove you right that he's hiding shit from you, and he's out of the country, or he's on a trip with another bitch? Is that what you want him to prove you right about? And the fact that you're saying, Divine Valley, that he won't tell you where he is or who he's with, tells me that you are asking questions. You're questioning him to him. So don't do that, because you're going to get an answer that you don't want, because you wouldn't ask a question if you knew the answer. So what answer do you want to give it? No, he's out with his friends. Like he's totally on a trip with his friends, with his guy friends. And it's a guy's trip, so that's why he didn't invite me. You know? That's it. Who gives a shit where he went? Who cares who he's with? I mean, I understand your concern, but you can't verbalize the shit to him. Because if you keep asking, it's because you don't know the answer, and he's going to confirm everything you don't want to hear. And is that going to make you feel good? No. So this is where the growth comes in. This is where you learn to shut up and internalize. You select where he's at. You tell yourself who he's with. That's it. That's all she wrote. And that's all your subconscious mind will know. Okay, that's all your subconscious mind will know. And that's all you have to remember instead of interrogating his ass. See what I'm saying? It feels like he doesn't care anymore. If that's what you want to tell yourself, then that's what's going to happen. Then he's not going to care anymore. Okay? You're spiraling in your thoughts. You're assigning negative meaning after negative meaning. You cannot do that, bitch. So right now, stop it. Stop it. No, he absolutely cares about me. I'm the love of his fucking life. And he knows it. Okay? Tell yourself something different. Because I don't want for you to slide back where he all of a sudden comes back from the trip. You guys have a conversation and he says, honey, I don't care about you anymore. This isn't working out. Because that's what's going to happen if you don't fucking change your thoughts. Okay? Is he's going to confirm how you're feeling, how you think he feels about you. He will always confirm it. You won't even have to ask. So I would not. If you control his thoughts 100% of the time, then why on earth do you want to assume that he doesn't care about you? Why do you want to tell that story? Because now you're choosing the version of your SP that's hiding things from you and doesn't give a shit about you. That's the version of your SP you're choosing. Why do you want that? You don't. So tell him, okay, if he opened up your messages, that's good, because you know what that means? That means you're on his mind, okay? That means you're on his mind, teddy bear. So you want communication, so start affirming for communication. You know, he's constantly texting me. He literally calls and texts me all day long. Every single day. Every single day. Tell yourself that instead, and the communication will come and follow, okay? Because he opened your messages, so look at that as a positive thing, right? Thanks, Mel Girlfriend. Only you assign a positive meaning. Only you assign the meaning to everything. What part of this don't you guys understand? So he opened up your messages. So great. Oh my God, of course why wouldn't he? He's so obsessed with me. I'm all he ever thinks about. I'm all he ever thinks about, which is why he's contacting me. Which is why he opened up my messages in the first place, because why wouldn't he? I'm all he ever thinks about. And he's contacting me right now. He opened him up because he's replying to me right now. That's all. That's right, son. That's right. I mean, subliminals are fucking bullshit. They're stupid. All they do is waste your time. Okay? They waste your time. Because like Sun said, he stopped subliminals and he persisted. And she persisted. And guess what? She's getting so much movement. Of course she is. Of course she is. Because all they do is waste your time. Oh, Flashy, look at you. Seeing him on the road again. On the road again. Good, Joe. Good. Of course. No, he's not jealous. He's encouraging the relationship. And now, he's going to constantly tell Brian he's taking you to the bar. Been seeing the same car as his everywhere. He's thinking about me. Yes, he is, Don. Yes, he is. And he is coming to see you. He is coming to... You know what? That's a good one. When you see his car, Don, I'd be like, yeah, he's totally thinking about me and he's coming to see me right now. Right? Because he's in his car. Mimi, how could you be with your specific person? You have to see them as the version of your SP you want them to be for you. Okay, on top, so you need to see them as your perfect person and only that version of them. On top of that, you need to, this is a little self-concept. Self-concept is not everything. You know how I feel about self-concept. Okay, but you do need to put yourself on the pedestal. Okay, that's what causes people to chase you. And there's that level of like, yeah, no, I'm the baddest bitch. Like what, like, why wouldn't he want me? Of course, everybody wants me. Be careful with that one though. But see yourself on that pedestal above him in your house, right? And then you affirm. And then you affirm for what it is that you want. I believe in affirming for steps. Affirming in steps because it's a lot easier to live in the end of contact than it is a lot easier to live in the end of marriage. See, and that's where people go wrong. Because if it was so easy for you to live in the end of marriage, then you would be able to expect them to contact you, right? Because isn't that what married couples do? So if you're not expecting him to contact you, then what the fuck are you living in the end of marriage for? Why don't you try living in the end of contact first? Thanks, so. Okay, like, that's the stupidest analogy ever. Like, and that's where people get it screwed up, where they try to live in the end for 2 years and get nothing, of course, because you can't even expect a contact. And yet you're lying to yourself by saying you're living in the end of marriage. I don't think so. I don't think so. Right? Because especially when you're in no contact, that's the most dumbest thing ever. Thanks, soul girlfriend. So when you affirm in steps, it would be something like what I said is he's so obsessed with me. I'm all he ever thinks about. He's always calling and texting me because those first two lead to contact. He's always calling and texting me. There's the contact, right? He's constantly spending time with me. That's a natural progression in your relationship is now you're spending time together and he'll do anything to be in a relationship with me right now. That's relationship. Okay. And so and then once those happen, he's always calling and texting you, I never dropped that affirmation. I didn't. I never dropped it until it became natural. Then you move on, right? Then you're like, okay, well, in my mind, we're in a relationship. This is everything we're doing screams relationship. So that's my assumption now. So now I'm going to affirm that he is so in love with me. He wants to live with me. Right. So now you're moving to the next step of living together. Okay. I'm a firm believer of living together before getting married. Just saying. You might want to know how they live, you know. On top of that, I'm a firm believer in sexy time before marriage. Call it what you want. You judge me not. But you might want to know what you're signing up for, if you know what I mean. Of course he does glitter sparkles. Why wouldn't he? Because you're all he ever thinks about. Okay? Yes, he is, CC. Yes, he is. And he's taking you to, what is it, Comic-Con? Comic-Con? Oh, good, Mar. So make sure you're looking extra hot. Make sure you're looking extra hot. You know, because you have to think logically speaking. This is where a lot of you guys have to think logically speaking. Like some of you guys will be like, well, I still have his house key, or he still has my house key, and I still have his, garage remote, or he still has things I still have my things at his house, right? Or he's left his things at my house. He comes to pick up his mail. He's coming to my house for some Amazon packages. From a logical perspective, let's just think logically here. Logically, if a relationship was over and it was a rhapsody and they moved on, they would have forwarded their mail, okay? They wouldn't have, there's a thing called mail forwarding, okay? They'd have Amazon packages delivered to their residence, not yours, okay? They'd give you back your shit or throw it in the fucking dumpster, okay? Like, that's just logically speaking. That's what they would do, right? So when you're done with somebody, you just sort of like, well, I'm fucking done. She didn't come get her shit, so in the dumpster fucking goes. Like, that's just how that works. But if they didn't do any of that, that's because it's not a wrap. That's because it's not a wrap. What, are they going to have a whole nother relationship with your shit all over their fucking house? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird. They would have given you back your key. They would have done all that shit, you know? And that's where you have to remember all that stuff is... Brahma, I don't know what are you smoking, boo? Who is that and what? Who is what in my background? There's nobody here, bruh. There's no one here. And it certainly wouldn't be my SP. Could you imagine? He's just sitting here listening to me. That's right, Joe. It is. That is. I like the song. I'm so excited. That's right. That's right. Be excited and make sure, Mara, that you're looking extra hot. You want to, you know, show how amazingly beautiful you are. I mean, that's just me. Might accidentally enter the door, forgetting what time he was coming over, and, you know, like a silk bathrobe and, you know. That's just my personality. I mean, if you're coming over to my house, well, I can't, you know, I'm gonna wear whatever I feel like wearing, and I like comfortable clothes. So, oops, sorry, I forgot you were coming over. My bad. I know, isn't that crazy, Damien? It's crazy when you can have a dream about somebody and the next day they show up. If we're in communication, but not every day, should I just focus on that first, then remove gutter trash? I would focus on both. I would focus on both, Divine Valley, in removing gutter trash as well as affirming for your communication, but your relationship, right? Because saying he'll do anything to be in a relationship with me right now, what does that imply? Whoever needs to exit the goddamn fucking building needs to do that, right? Whatever circumstances are between you and a relationship with your SP must dissolve. So that includes gutter trash going back to the dumpster she crawled out of. Yeah, that's what that means. God, I just love the word gutter trash. I don't know if my SP has left the country and moved somewhere else. Okay, Ren, well, if you don't know if your SP has left the country and moved somewhere else, well, where do you want him to move? To your country? That's what I'd say. Like, you know what? He totally, like, let's say, well, where I live, California. This weather is crazy, by the way. It's cold this morning. Now it's warm, but I'm wearing pajama bottoms. And they're Christmassy. Yeah. Okay, who says you can only wear Christmas pajamas in the holiday season? Nope, I have penguins with snow caps on their heads. But they're fucking comfortable. They're so soft and comfortable. So, Ren, I digress. Say that he just, if you don't know if he's moved the country, moved somewhere else, yeah, he moved next door to me, bitch. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, he totally just moved to California. He totally just moved to California so we can be together. Why don't you say that? Why don't you say that? If you want to be an investigator, investigate the shit that you want. Oh, look, someone joined the Zoom. Someone joined my TikTok that has my boyfriend's name. That's a sign. Hey, prima donna. Hey, girl. Prima donna, I hope you're still here, but can you bump your message to the top of my WhatsApp, because I deleted an email address and a lot of my contacts got deleted, so I can't find you. So if you could, you know, and that's the thing, if I search your name and I can't find you, that's a problem. Okay, talked about listening or on affirmation while sleeping, seeing sleeping tapes. Yeah, Teddy Bear, a lot of people will use like a parrot app. I've never even thought about that, but very clever. They'll use a parrot app, and they'll use and they'll record their affirmations and then loop them. Because when you're sleeping, based upon how long you sleep, you're in right before you go to bed, you're in state akin to sleep. Your subconscious mind never sleeps; only your conscious mind sleeps. Okay, so your subconscious mind is wide open to suggestion while you're sleeping. So therefore, because it's always listening, right? It's always listening. So therefore, if you're looping your affirmations while you sleep, you're getting that shit in there thousands of times, right? And everything's about repetition, right? So the more you can get them in there thousands of times every time you go to bring your ass to fucking sleep, well, guess what? It's getting in there. It's getting in there. And so I definitely would do that over a fucking subliminal, for sure. Because subliminal is, like I told you guys, my analogy when it comes to subliminal is that there's no, because my entire background is on the subconscious mind, okay? So where in the fuck does it say that the subconscious mind can hear through noise? It's like, no, it's that's not how this works, right? All it's hearing is the fucking music playing. It's not over here digging for the whisper that's in the background, right? It just hears loud music. So instead, if you killed the music, right? This is where sleep, if you're going to listen to anything else, if it's not your affirmations, then it should be a sleep meditation, right? Or a hypnosis, because you can still very much hear everything that's being said. Okay. So like your subconscious mind is not hearing waves crashing, right? Because if you look at sleep meditations and hypnosis audios, it's soothing, relaxing music like you would hear at a massage place, right? It's like just like little waves, you know, or little birds chirping, but you can very much hear what's being said. So one, that protects you, and two, your subconscious mind hears the fucking words that are being said. Your subconscious mind is not listening to the fucking whisper tone that's behind loud ass fucking music playing. That's fucking stupid. So, just saying. If you're gonna do it, you may as well do what you know will work. Not hope and pray on a shooting star that somehow your subconscious mind picks up the words behind the loud ass music playing. And I talked to someone who said she used to listen to subliminals for months with nothing. Nothing came out of it. Of course, nothing came out of it because all your subconscious mind heard was the music playing. Yeah, Jesse, we're going to talk about affirmations today and why they're highly effective. Okay? Because you're creating the no contact, teddy bear. You're creating the no contact by questioning every fucking thing. By doing all that, you're creating the no contact. There's only one reason you guys go no contact. Okay? It's because you force the 3D, force the 3D, force the 3D. So thus, what is the result? No contact. People don't just wake up one day like, I don't think I want, you know what? I don't want to talk to her anymore. Fuck her. No. You force the 3D repeatedly, and then they got tired of the shit and were like, I don't want to talk to her, right? And here's what you have to realize. Let's just think, again, logically speaking, because I only teach logic and realistic advice. I have to pair logic with manifestation because your conscious mind is the logical thinker, so it has to make sense to you, okay? So if you think logically speaking, would you, as an individual, want to talk to somebody if all they did was talk shit and argue with you? Would you want to talk to somebody like that? No, I certainly wouldn't. I'm not going to keep answering my fucking phone, because if they know, they should know what they're going to get on the other side of the fucking phone, okay? Unless you're Dr. Jekyll, Mrs. Hyde. They should know when they pick up that phone that it's going to be a lovely conversation, because they're always a lovely conversation, that it's going to be a very peaceful discussion, because it's always peaceful. They should not pick up the phone knowing damn well that all you're going to do is bitch and jump down their throat. And bitch and bitch and bitch. Why would they want to answer that phone? I wouldn't. Your shit is going straight to fucking voicemail. And then, just because I don't answer my phone, you want to talk that shit through the text. This is why you guys go with no contact. Because you bully them. And for what? For what? You have to flip the script and say, okay, if this was happening to me, how would I react? Well, they're no different, because they're you, right? They're showing up based on your assumptions. So how the fuck would you react if somebody was doing that shit to you? You would not be vibing with it. I'm not an argumentative person. So if you think I'm gonna sit here and argue with your ass all fucking day long, I'm not gonna do that shit at all. I'd rather not fucking talk to you, right? I don't talk to my brother right now because I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you talk shit all day long. About what? For what? I have other things to do. And, you know, the biggest compliment that my brother gives me is, you've changed. You've changed. Everyone sees it too. I was like, who the fuck is everyone? Okay, let's not act like you talk to my friends, okay? Who the fuck is everyone? Okay? And if they see that I've changed, great. Great. Why would I apologize for that, for putting myself and my needs before others? Why would I apologize for that? I've changed, yeah, for the better. Duh. If you want to go be miserable, you do that shit about my reality. Thank you very much. Go be miserable in yours. But you're not going to bring that shit to mine because I'm going to change it again and again and again. So, hey, Janelle, girlfriend. Well, if it's 16 and 20, then it does. See, yeah, that's all right. Organically Zen skincare, so is mine. Mine is 6 years younger. So, you know what that means? Flattery, bitch. Flattery. Oh, Jesus. See, let all that inspire you. All these people that have the age gap. Hi, Jen. The other day I said I called 85 times. And he blocked me and he didn't. He blocked me, he didn't. But I found out so many things, how he cheated on me. I still tried to get an answer. I got to know he is married, which he lied about. He ignored me so hard and still has a say on my profile picture here that I want attention. Nancy, yes, I was just telling somebody today to say that. If you guys are, okay, well, you have a choice, okay? You have a choice, Glam, okay? You have a choice to either choose somebody new and manifest somebody new that's perfect for you, or to manifest your SP back, okay? But you can't say you want answers, okay? You're gonna get all the answers you don't want, and it isn't gonna make you feel better, and it isn't gonna resolve shit. It's not gonna resolve anything, okay, by you fishing for answers, okay? The more you fish for answers, it's because you don't know the answer, and he's going to confirm the opposite of what you want to hear over and over and over again. Or you could start seeing him as the perfect boyfriend for you, who's completely loyal, committed, and faithful to you, who literally, he's obsessed with you. He cannot get enough of you. He is 100%, he tells you everything. He tells you everything. Okay? He always tells me the truth. You can see that part of him, and he will. Okay? Marta, is there a way to make a guy obsessed over you in a short period of time? Yeah, bitch. Actually, there is. You have two options. You can say, he is so obsessed with me. He is literally so obsessed with me. Well, actually, I would combine the two. If you really just want him to be obsessed with you, then you say, he is so obsessed with me. Like, why is he so obsessed with me? He is so obsessed with me. Why is he so obsessed with me? And he will be very, very fast. Very fast. Yes. Very fast. That's the best part. All of you guys, here's the thing too. If you guys are in problem state, okay, like where it feels like everything in your life is going wrong, right? Or things are not, or you need a lot of things, right? If you need a lot of things, you think that things are going wrong. If it's not one thing, it's another, right? Just things are not going your way. Then what you need, that you're in problem state. Okay, when you're in problem state, everything seems to go wrong. Everything seems to go wrong. So instead, you need to be in, isn't it wonderful state? Okay, by telling yourself that. Isn't it wonderful? 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 It's an umbrella affirmation. Okay? You can be in isn't it wonderful state or everything in my life is perfect state. Everything in my life is perfect. Isn't it wonderful? Everything in my life is perfect. Isn't it wonderful? Everything always goes my way. Or I always get what I want. Okay? You need to start putting yourself in that state by telling yourself something different versus focusing on your fucking problems, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to have more problems. Right? But isn't it wonderful implies exactly that. Like, yes, it is absolutely wonderful in my life. Right? So it's like, then everything starts to suddenly go your way. Everything starts to work out. Right? Because you're putting yourself in a different state, which is what's manifesting. That's what's manifesting. Is problem state creates problems. Problems manifest, right? Isn't it wonderful state? Everything goes wonderful in your life. If I always get what I want state, you always get what you want. Okay? Like there's no way around it. Or you can be in nothing goes my way state and I never get what I want. And that will be right for you too. So what's the pleasure here? I'd certainly rather put myself in the isn't it wonderful state and everything always goes my way than the opposite. Okay? Because you will find your SP is not a second thing from this. Okay? It's not a separate thing. Isn't it wonderful implies you have a wonderful relationship. Your money situation is wonderful. Your life is wonderful. You have everything that you fucking need and want. That's the state you're putting yourself in. Okay? So that's what you need to know. That's what you need to know. So circumstances are so sucky right now. I'm trying to persist and being hopeful. It's tough. Well, Erica, there you go. I just answered your question. Okay, is you're in sucky state right now. Okay, problem state. Okay, most of you are in problem state. Okay, so tell yourself the opposite, and things will start to go your way. Okay, because you're shifting states. You need to get out of the state you don't want to be in. This single state, the I'm so alone state, the everything is wrong state, my SP hates me state, all of those are states versus, no, everything in my life is perfect. I always get what I want. Everything in my life is perfect. I always get what I want. Or isn't it wonderful? I always get what I want. Isn't it wonderful? I always get what I want. Everything in my life is perfect. Combine all fucking three of those. And it will be that way. You can affirm for whatever you want, okay? Because you still aren't thinking thoughts against that at the same time. So if you're putting yourself like, isn't it wonderful and everything goes my way and everything in my life is perfect state, right? You should affirm that for 5 to 10 minutes every single fucking day. And you should do it for 5 minutes. You should literally back it up with your SP affirmations, okay? It's like you have SP and then, boom, another 5 minutes on, isn't it wonderful and everything in my life is perfect, everything goes my way. State, I always get what I want. Right? And then back that up and do that for 5 minutes, 5 times per day. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen to you? Everything changes for the better? Let's just think realistic. Okay, Ren, I understand. Hey, Macamillions. I understand that checking the 3D could be difficult for some people. But I tell you guys, if you're insisting on checking the 3D, if you're insisting on checking social media, then affirm the entire time you're checking. The entire time you're checking, affirm. Affirm the entire time. Because again, your subconscious mind does not know what you're looking at. Okay? But if you're affirming the whole time, you can see whatever you want. But I don't know why you'd want to do that. I don't know why you'd want to do that because it's going to trigger you every time. Now, let's get a little petty. Because again, remember, guys, remember that we leverage the law here. Okay? We leverage the law. So, a lot of you guys deal with gutter trash. Okay? So, you also are aware of gutter trash is on your profile. So, what happens if you go on your SP's profile and you see something you don't like? How do you react? Okay. So, how do you think gutter trash or anyone else will react? no different than you are, right? So you can post certain things because you know that they're going to react a certain way. Same way you react, right? This is not like a hypothetical. It's like, well, how do I react? I get triggered. Okay, cool. Allow me to trigger. If you know what I mean. That's how I play the petty game. I'm petty. I'm petty, and I leverage the law to work in my favor, which all of you are learning how to do as well. Bend the law. Okay, if it goes one direction, if I know how I react to certain things, then guess what? And you're not spiritually asleep. So if you know how you react to certain things, what makes you think they're any different? They're not. So I have fun with it, or I did. Why not? I used to. I don't do it anymore. I don't have a reason to. But I did. They could just be memes too, guys. Like, understand that. It could literally be a fucking meme that talks about certain things. Okay. Just say it. Okay. Nancy, no. She uses the affirmations that we've curated together. Okay. Flashy does. Flashy uses the affirmations we've curated together, and she's getting massive movement. Now we're just bringing him to her front door. Because he's coming home. Very soon. Very soon. In fact, she's chosen the date. How about when circumstances are so bad, still possible to manifest them back? Yes, Savannah, circumstances are only what you make of them. Okay? They're only what you make of them. Okay, so circumstances don't matter when manifesting your SP unless you choose to view it as a circumstance. Okay? And oftentimes, like what you mean by circumstances are so bad is probably like the things between you and SP are bad. But none of that matters. Okay? None of that matters. It matters how you... what matters is how you're viewing things, how you're viewing the circumstance, okay? But you can sit there right now and be like, fuck circumstances. They don't matter. They don't matter because so you can manifest anybody back, but you have to drop the circumstances because those are obstacles standing in between. It's like a hurdle that you're creating that are standing in between you and SP. And the more hurdles you create, more circumstances, you have to jump over those to get to you and SP, or you have to bulldoze them down. And the only way you're going to bulldoze them down is by saying the opposite of the circumstance, okay? Is one, not acknowledging the circumstance, or two, telling yourself like, no, actually, he's very loving. He is the sweetest guy in the fucking world. In fact, he cannot stop texting me. He texts me all day, every day, nothing but loving, sweet messages. He's the most amazing man in the world. Right? You can start changing that story, okay? I understand, Glam. I understand. I'd have a hard time moving on from that, to be quite honest. And only because, I mean, as you know, you created a lot of this shit, right? But the problem also lies in the fact that you'd have a lot to get over. You'd have a lot to get over, right? And at the end of the day, unfortunately, this is the problem when you're dealing with a married man, right? Is he lied to you about it, okay? Which I don't blame you for, okay? You fell in love with him and then found out he was married. So that's a different scenario. However, the problem is let's say he gets together with you right now, okay? You'd have to get over a lot of obstacles, okay? You'd have to be willing to 100% trust everything about him again. And can you do that? Can you do that? Plus, let's say you guys get back together and he gets divorced. And this is also for the one who said that he's getting a divorce, okay? You have to trust him 100%. 100%. Because if you started off as for lack of better terms, the gutter trash, okay? If you started off as the gutter trash, it's very easy to create gutter trash. Even like, let's say he divorces her tomorrow. It's very easy for you to create new gutter trash because that's how you started your relationship, right? So you have to discipline yourself. You have to discipline yourself to say no. He's loyal to me. He is faithful to me. He's committed to me. Right? And be that trusting person so that you don't create new gutter trash. Because you're questioning where he's going, what he's doing because of the sneaking around he did with you, right? So you can't do that, okay? So I don't know. You can manifest an apology if you feel like that would be better for you to close that chapter in your life. You can manifest an apology at 100%, but you also still have to evolve, okay? You still have to evolve because what you don't want to do is, let's say you're like, I'm all done. I want to walk away from this relationship. I want a clean state. I'm going to find somebody new. Great. But you have to evolve because you don't want to repeat the pattern of your last relationship, which is you. Okay. The only thing that your relationships have in common is always you. So you have to break that pattern. If you don't break that pattern, then you're just going to recreate the same scenario over and over and over again, right? So you have to start trusting, man. You have to start believing in yourself. You have to start evolving and not reacting to shit, over and over and over again, not arguing with them over and over and over again. Like, you can't do that. You have to learn to shut the fuck up and not verbalize a goddamn thing and keep it in here and get very clear on the kind of man that you want to be with. Okay, one that's loyal, faithful, committed to you, that is, single. That's trusting, that tells you everything, that's very trustworthy and worships the ground that you walk on, treats you like a queen. All of that stuff is, you have to set the bar for what it is that you want so that you attract only that version of that person, okay? Yeah, your situation's a bit, Glam, your situation's a bit different, okay? Because I don't know if that's somebody that you'd want to recreate, to be quite honest, right? Is that a relationship you'd want to win back? Is that? You know what I'm saying? Is that something that you'd want to win back? That's what you have to ask yourself, okay? Because of all these, because a man that's going to lie to you about his marriage, then cheat on you with a whole nother broad, then also, and here's the kicker for me, okay? This is honestly the kicker for me, which is why I would suggest, if you want my honest opinion, I would walk away. I tell him to go fuck himself and walk away. That's my opinion. Because the deal breaker for me out of this whole thing would have been the fact that he lied about his kids. Who hides children? You know what I'm saying? That to me is like, he sounds like a complete piece of shit. If you want me to be quite frank, he sounds like a complete piece of shit. Because for somebody to lie about their marriage, fine. But to lie about their children, to me, that's like, no, motherfucker. You should be proud of your children, right? You should admit you have children. We'll start with the obvious. So, you have way too many things that, in my honest opinion, I would walk away. Because I would respect myself enough, right? You have to respect yourself enough and be like, okay, I created a lot of this mess, but I did not create somebody to lie about their children, okay? And so the fact that he would do all of that shit, like, I have more respect for myself that I know I deserve better. I know I deserve someone that, one, isn't going to lie about his kids. Okay? I've never seen somebody do that. That's fucking weird. You know, because why? For what? You know? There's, so it's just way too shady. I would respect myself enough, and I would want you to respect yourself enough to be like, you know what? Fuck him. I'll manifest somebody else. Somebody better. And then I'll rub that shit right up in his fucking face. In fact, he's lucky I'm not petty as... He's lucky he's not my SP. Because if that was my SP, I'd make sure his wife knew. That's just me. That's just me. Only because I'd be like, what a... lying about your kids and the fact that you clearly like to sleep around. I think I'm all done with this relationship. So let me just make sure your wife knows what a piece of shit you are too now. That's what I would do. But that's just me. That's just my personality. If you haven't figured that shit out already. So, hey, poor Thames, you know. And I am not telling you what to do, okay? But I'm just being honest with you and saying that I just wouldn't tolerate the shit. And I'd hone my own power and I'd be like, yeah, fuck him. Yeah, that's just me. That's right, Ellie. Just say, you know, you have to respect yourself enough. And that's really what this all boils down to, guys, is you have to respect yourself enough for certain things, right? Like, would I ever want in a million years to manifest back an abuser? Never. But I would harness my manifesting abilities to make sure that, you know, he gets what's coming out. You know, and not in a like bad way, but like I said, I'd manifest that some big burly bitch comes and beats his ass up. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's all about the respect level of yourself. Because what are you saying to yourself? That you're a fucking doormat? That they can just disrespect you over and over again, lie about their kids, lie about like, and then cheat on you too? Like, 2 women isn't enough? You need a 3rd one? And God knows how many times he's done it. You know what I mean? I'd be like, that ain't the man that I even want to waste my time on. Versus I can go find someone else a whole lot, you know, better for me. And then do what Ellie said. Hex him for eternity. Oh, God. We had a psychic in the room, guys. We had a psychic in the room. Y'all know my analogy about psychics. Don't waste your time. Let's see here. What do we got? We had to mute a psychic, so all of the comments went to the bottom. And what if you do manifest someone who hit you? I'm sure you are just curious, Brahma. I think a lot of the questions, you're just curious. Well, you know, there's that thing where it's like, because I was in an abusive relationship before, a former life of mine. And I do believe that every one of your SPs is a manifestation, right? But sometimes, and this is before learning about the law, okay? And just being, right? It's like sometimes you'll see that they're that way with somebody else, but you think you can change them, right? Or you think, no, he would never do that to me, though. Until he does. Because what's in the back of your mind, right? Knowing the law now, what's in the back of your mind every time he gets upset? Is he going to hit me? Right? Because you know that about him from a previous relationship that he had. right? And so now you assume you think you can change him in the physical world, forcing the 3D, but then every time you have a disagreement, it's like you're waiting for it, right? Like, is he gonna, is he gonna hit me? And then it happens. And now it happens again and again and again. And are you manifesting that? Yeah, you are. If you want me to be quite honest with you, you are. Because it happened once, and now the next time you argue, you revert back to the last argument where it happened. And now he hits you again because he did it the last time. And now we've got a pattern. Okay, now we have a pattern, a behavior pattern. So then it over and over and over again, you step into that assumption, and it happens again and again and again and again and again. 1,000%. But knowing the law, would I want to change somebody like that? Not really. Not really. Because this comes down to a self-concept thing. This comes down to not really a self-concept thing. This comes down to a self-respect thing. Is you have to love yourself enough, respect yourself enough to know, like, fuck you. I don't know who the fuck you think you're laying hands on, but I'm not the one. So go fuck yourself and walk away. I would have no desire to change anybody like that. I would have no desire to change anybody that is not a good person, like an evil person. I don't mean like just, has a bit of an attitude, I mean like an evil person. I would have no desire to change anybody like that. I'm good. Because again, in manifestation, you have to respect yourself enough, right? You have to respect yourself to say, I deserve better than this, and I don't know who the hell he thinks he is treating me like this in my goddamn reality, so I don't fucking think so. Why would I settle for gutter trash? Because that's what abusers are, and liars, significant liars, we'll say. Why would I settle for that when I can go get a steak? I don't think so. Never. And that's a you thing. That's something where it takes a lot of courage. Because like I said, I've been there. It takes a lot of courage to step up and fight for yourself at that point, right? And to raise your fucking standards, for Christ's sakes. I would have no desire to change that person at all. Like I said, I could have manifested anybody, but why in the hell would I want that? No fucking thank you. I don't think so. Yes, Natalie, you are. Unfortunately, you do create the shit show. But, like I said, if we know the law works both directions, I'm totally fine with being petty. I am totally fine with being petty when it comes to the law. I have no problem with that. Petty is my fucking middle name, literally. It should be, actually. It should be. My middle name is Renee, but we'll call it Petty instead. Because why not? Why not? You're in my reality. So, sorry. Then you're going to get what you get in my reality. I don't do anything like hopes that, well, I did it once, not intentionally, but I would never use my manifesting abilities to want someone to I don't believe in karma, but I would never want to use my manifesting abilities to hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? I would never want to do that. Even though I don't believe in karma, I just don't think it's the right thing to do. I don't want somebody to hurt themselves unless they step out of line. I'm just kidding. Okay, I said gutter trash wants him to quit his job. He started going live less. It works. Okay. Organically Zen Skincare, why the fuck do you want gutter trash? Why are you saying you want gutter trash? That gutter trash wants him to quit his job? Unless that's going to cause a problem for him. Right? If that's going to cause a problem for him, then great. Or you can be like, no, actually, She fucking hates what he does. In fact, she fucking hates his job. But she's walked away. She's moved on. No, Alicia, self-concept is not important when manifesting money. However, in manifesting money, you need to identify yourself as someone who has a lot of money, right? You need to identify yourself as someone who has a lot of money, because you can't be broke and have rich thoughts, and you can't be rich and have broke thoughts. Those two don't go together, okay? So instead, you would tell yourself, like, I'm rich as fuck. Like, why am I so damn rich? Like, why am I so rich, right? You have to put yourself in the, act as if you will. You have to identify as that person that has a lot of money. Because when you identify, right, if we look at the subconscious mind and how it works, identities are at the hierarchy of change. Okay, so when you're at the hierarchy, if identities are at the hierarchy of change, when you shift the identity, then your beliefs about money, your values about money, your environment, money in your bank account and stuff must change to match. Your behaviors with money, everything must change to match the identity, right? Instead of, a lot of people do it backwards. They try to manifest more money and then go up the ladder. But if you would start by identifying yourself as a wealthy person, then everything changes to match that, right? So if you're just telling yourself, like, I'm rich, why am I so rich? Like, why am I so rich? I've always had plenty of money, right? Like, money comes to me every single day. My bank account increases every single day. You know, if you would tell yourself that instead, then just by identifying and telling yourself that you're so rich over and over again, automatically will put you in the rich state, which means money starts coming to you from everywhere, right? All of a sudden, money is so easy for you to make. All of these things start coming for you, right? Like, why am I such a money magnet? Like, why am I such a money magnet? Why is money so easy? If you're an entrepreneur, you should say this. Why is money so easy for me to make? Why is money so easy for me to make? Right? Because this is the power of affirmations, okay? This is when we do affirmations. When we do affirmations, the reason why affirmations work is because, here's the thing, you have what's called, everybody has it, it's called a RAS, reticular activator system, okay? So sometimes sometimes for you guys, it might be hard for you to sit there when it comes to your SPs, to really affirm if you have a lot of resistance to it. Like your 3D is showing you the complete opposite, right? So it's hard for you guys to discipline yourself. So instead, or to step into the assumption that it is how it is, or to know something, okay? So because again, what you know is what pushes out, okay? Over and over and over again, which is why a lot of you guys will know that they love you, and they confirm that. While they're breaking up with your ass, they'll be like, I love you, but. Yeah, because you know that they love you. So they confirm that. But you also are doubting your relationship and where you stand in the relationship, like where this relationship is headed. So that's why they confirm they love you and break up with you in the same hot ass breath. Okay, so instead, this is where affirmations come into play. Okay, because when you ask yourself, first of all, you don't ask a question if you don't ask a question to yourself about something that's not true for you. Okay, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So instead, you would turn some of your affirmations into an ask-formation. So it would be something like, why is he, like, if you guys can't get past the contact shit, why don't you just start telling yourself, like, why is he blowing my phone up? Why is he contacting me all day, every day? Like, why is he constantly contacting me? Okay? Because when you say that to yourself, your subconscious mind, again, does not have an opinion, okay? So it takes you at your word. So why would you be asking yourself, why is he blowing my shit up if he wasn't blowing your shit up, right? Why would you ask yourself, why is he constantly contacting me if he wasn't constantly contacting you? So when you ask the question, it activates your RAS system, your reticular activator system, which is constantly scanning your surroundings, okay? Looking for the answer. It's looking for the answer, okay? So therefore it pushes out, okay? So affirmations are really, like I said, my friend killed me with that shit where she literally had a good, welcome to my text me your updates, girl. When she killed me with that shit. I was like, why are you lying to your people, telling you that you created affirmations? I'm like, you did not, bitch. You did not. And so that's where you ask yourself that, like, why is he constantly contacting me? Why is he constantly contacting me? Why is he so fucking obsessed with me? Because then your subconscious mind is now scanning your surroundings saying, I will not wish you the best of luck, Mar. Have a great time. That's what I'll tell you. Have a great time seeing your SP today. Remember what I said. Make sure you're looking extra spicy. So when it constantly surrounds you, when it's constantly scanning your surroundings, what it's doing is it's looking for the answer. It's like, yeah, why is he so obsessed with me? Let's scan the surroundings and find all this proof that he's obsessed with you, right? Why is he constantly contacting me? Oh, well, let's scan the surroundings 24/7, looking for the proof, looking to show you why he's contacting you all the time. So therefore, what do you think he has to do? Contact you all the time. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what I would do. Like, why is everything in my life so fucking perfect? Why do I always get what I want? Like, seriously, why do I always get what I want? Well, it's going to constantly look for proof. Oh, we always get what we want. Why do we always get what we want? Let's give her the answer. Do you see what I'm saying? So I would do that, especially if you're lacking the knowing ability, okay, of contact. Then start saying that. Why is he constantly contacting me? Like, literally, why is he constantly contacting me? Why is he constantly spending time with me? Right? If you're in constant contact, why is he constantly coming to see me? Like, why? Jesus Christ, I can't even get a second alone. Why is this man always asking to spend time with me? Right? The other one would be like, why is he begging to be in a relationship right now? Like, why is he like, Jesus, why is he so in love with me? Why is he so in love with me? Right? And so that's what I would do, is turn one or two, don't go down, you don't have to go down this whole fucking rabbit hole, okay? Doodles, let me check your contact and make sure you have access to it. If you don't, I'll send it to you. Okay? It'll come, basically it'll come from, I'll send you a Google Drive for you, okay, to access it. Hello, manifest your lover back. So do you see what I'm saying? So I would literally take, this is actually my life, honey. Okay. This is actually my life. So people ask, I'll give you one clue who people ask questions to. It ain't you. So don't go down this whole rabbit hole of turning all your affirmations into an ask-formation, but start with the ones that you want the most, right? If you are not in consistent contact, then I know, stupid. I literally said manifest your lover back. The fuck is a lover? Good Lord. Anyway. So if you're in no contact, I would start with the, like, why is he so obsessed with me? Like, literally, why is he constantly calling me? Or constantly talking to me, right? Things like that. I would start with those ones. Then you could be like, I'm literally all he ever thinks about. He's constantly spending time with me. He'll do anything to be with me in a relationship with me right now, right? So you could have the other ones stay the same, but the ones that you're stuck on, that first fucking obstacle that you need to get over, turn that into an affirmation. Okay? Why is he literally contacting me all fucking day long? You know what I'm saying? Because therefore he will. Same with you, Flashy. Why is he constantly coming over to have coffee with me? Like, why does he come over to have coffee with me every fucking day? Because your subconscious mind now is going to be scanning your surroundings like, that is true. Why is he? Yeah, that's right. It takes you at your word. It takes you at your word, right? And it says, yes, Flash, you should. Okay? Is ask yourself that. Why is he constantly coming to have coffee with me every day? Why is he constantly coming over every day? Okay? Why does he come see me every single day to have coffee? Just put that in your affirmations. Okay? Because that's what you need. Because you know that all you have to do is get into your house. You've said that a million times, right? Where you're like, all I have to do is get him here. All I have to do is get him here. Based upon the, last time he was at your house. You know what I mean? So, you know that. So really, I would have that be a part of it. I would have that be a major part of it, is why is he coming over every day to have coffee with me? Why is he coming over every day to have coffee with me? Right? Because your reticular activator system, now your RAS, is constantly searching for the proof. Right? Exactly. So it's constantly going to search for the proof over and over and over again to be like, why is that? Why are they always coming over? Why is he always coming over to have coffee? Well, let's go find the proof of that. Let's go show her why. Let's answer that question, okay? That's the thing, is it needs to answer the question. So in order to answer the question, it needs to go bring you the proof, okay, that that's true, okay? So I'd be real interested, and then let me know, bitch, when that man comes to have coffee, because she's relentless. I feel very in a state of having him, then see all this stuff he likes on Insta about exes and how he can never get over his first with her, and they are interlinked. Yes, Janelle. There you go. Doodles, why is he constantly like, why is he constantly all over me? If I have one more phone call during... I love Flashy. Just so you know, that's not her name. Okay, I feel very... Let's get into Claudia. Okay, I'm so sick of it affecting me, and I want complete devotion for me and not caring for her. Okay, Claudia. So, you have to change that story. I don't care. I can almost guarantee you he told you that, okay? Or whatever, or you see that, okay? I can understand that that's where that comes from. Hey, Claireworks. Thanks, girlfriend. I can see that somehow you've been led to believe that, okay? He's probably said it to you. He's probably showed you. I don't give a shit. Who gives a fuck? He's over it now. He's over it now. It's, what did you say here? He can never get over his first. Okay, what is he, fucking 5? What is he, 5? Okay, so be like, no, actually, he hates all of his exes. He hates all his exes. He can't stand any of them. He literally can't stand any of his exes at all. Except for me. Yeah, I'm the only one he's ever loved. I'm the only one he's ever loved. In fact, he hates all of his exes. He can't stand them. His biggest regret is meeting his first ex. Okay, flip that around. Flip it around. Okay, because you control the narrative. I don't care if he said that. That's based on his reality, but he's in your reality. So you can change that about him, and he must match that to you. So now all of a sudden, he's over that shit. Because he's in your reality. He has no choice but to conform to your assumptions of him. Okay, so you need to assume now that he's absolutely loyal, faithful, and committed to me. He is literally loyal, faithful. He's 100% loyal, faithful, and committed to me. And he shows me that every single day. Every day. He shows me that he's devoted to me. He's constantly talking about our future together. Right? In fact, he's completely over all of his exes. He hates them all. Why choose one when you can have him hate them all? Yeah, baby, you can mix them both. Hey, Rudy Dance Co. Hey, Rudy Dance Co. Can you shoot your message back to the top of my text and put your name in it? Plus Rudy Dance Co. Because I deleted an email and some of my contacts are gone. The names are. And I'm not a psychic and know what are your phone numbers. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you went to jail these days? They're like, you get a phone call. You're like, I don't know who the fuck to call. I don't know anybody's number. Right? Because it's just in your fucking phone. I don't know who to call. So there's that part. I had to make sure what time when somebody got arrested, I was like, can you write my phone number on his hand, please? Okay, thank you. Can you write my phone number on his hand, please? And they were like, okay. I was like, because I don't know. No one knows anybody's phone numbers anymore, right? At least I don't. Except for some of my family, but that's because we are habitual. We've had our same phone numbers for like forever. Crazy Court. What the fuck are you talking about? She wants me to date others. My person came back. She wants to date others while dating me. Wants me to prove her wrong. Prove her wrong about what? In here? No. She's loyal, faithful, and committed to me. And only me. In fact, she thinks I am perfect. I am perfect. She thinks I am absolutely perfect. I'm the perfect boyfriend. I'm the perfect girlfriend. Doesn't matter. She just thinks I'm literally perfection. She wants you to prove her wrong because, here's why she said that. Because you, in your mind, want another chance, right? To show her that things are different, which is why she says, like in your mind, you could be like, I just need to get back together with her because I'll show her, like I'll prove to her that things are different, which is why she said, prove me wrong. Okay, because that was your assumption getting back into the relationship that you just wanted another chance, right? So now she's saying, prove me wrong. But here's the thing. She's not in fucking control unless you decide to give her control. She's not in control, you are. Okay, so wants to date other people? Absolutely not. She's committed to me and only me. She only wants to date me. We're in a committed relationship. There is nobody else. She doesn't even want anybody else but me. Okay? You control the narrative. And here's the thing. You will prove her wrong anyway because you're a different person. You've evolved, right? So she will see that side of you that things are different because you've evolved. You're no longer going to react. You're no longer going to react in your voice, in your fucking... the things that you say and your thoughts, you're not going to do that anymore. You're going to maintain control. So she will see that. However, she's not having her cake and eating it too. I don't think so. Not in my reality and not in yours. Okay. Not in yours. So that's where you need to take control and describe her differently, that she's absolutely committed to me. We are in a committed relationship. Okay. You have to see that side of her and she'll push that part out. You guys do know that when people get drunk, it is a truth serum. It is. A lot of people like to say it's not, right? Usually it's the people that said something when they were drunk. They're like, I was just drunk. Okay. But when they get drunk, they do a lot more talking because their barriers are inebriated. Okay? Their barriers are lowered because they're drunk, right? So therefore they're much more open. So what they say while drunk is very much the truth. Just so you guys know. Glare works, just so you know. But don't view that he lives far, okay? As a problem, right? Can't view location as an issue, okay? So there's that part. So don't do that, okay? And good, run with that. Of course he likes you. Why wouldn't he? I'm a bad bitch. Of course he likes me. Duh. Duh. Oh yeah, Danielle? Wait, was it you? Was it you? Danielle, was it you that said that you fuck with her on your lives? I fucking love that shit. I think that's hilarious, actually. I think that's hilarious. But this goes to show you, Danielle, what I was talking about earlier, is if you know that they're watching your profile, right? This is where the pettiness goes into play. And this is where pettiness goes into play, if done correctly, also works in your favor, right? Because you know that if you were to go on somebody's thing, you get triggered, right? So they're not any different than you, okay, and how they would react. So instead, that's where I would find memes, certain things, and mess with them, especially since she blatantly was on your live. Oh man, like I'm pretty sure it was you that's because I highly doubt there's more than one person that has this issue where you said you talked to her. That shit cracks me up. Oh, okay, Flashy. Now I know where your name comes from. What would you do? What would you do? He wants me for her, is committed to gutter trash. Okay, Natalie, you have to stop listening to what he's telling you. Okay? As long as you see yourself as a side piece, you're going to be a side piece. And he's going to confirm that to you. Just like if you, like, let's say he has you come over only past 10 p.m. It's like that's the only time he can come over, right? Or he comes to see you in the midst of the night. And so you've been like, what is this, a hookup? Like in your mind. So therefore he confirms that. Then you don't see any progress of your relationship progressing, but you know about gutter trash. So in your mind, you're like, he's committed to gutter trash, or she's a priority. So now he confirms that. So you have to, so what would I do? Absolutely not. I would shoo gutter trash away. Committed? No. We need to create the wedge. Remember, create the wedge between him and gutter trash. So therefore, gutter trash plays her part and forces a 3D. Okay? Which will backfire. It always backfires on everybody. Okay? And then, while you're affirming for UNSP, committed relationship, UNSP, then he turns around and comes on home to mama. Okay? So, you definitely cannot view gutter trash as being, you cannot view gutter trash as being the reason you and him are not together. Okay, and you definitely shouldn't be looking at yourself as, a side piece. No, I'm the only piece to this goddamn puzzle, right? No, he's committed to me and only me. I'm his only priority. I'm his only priority. Okay, you need to come from that perspective and drop his shit. Because he will turn that around. He will turn that around. You won't need to seek confirmation. You will get it automatically. You will automatically get the confirmation. Especially since you guys are talking, especially since you guys see each other, you will get the confirmation automatically that there's trouble in that paradise. And it happens very fast. Okay, you will get that confirmation because he'll start talking about it. And then you go, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Persist, 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 persist. That's right, Rita Dasco. Yes, you can, Claudia. If you want him to say something specific to you, you could absolutely. You can do a couple things. You can say what you want him to say to you, or you can, if you're an auditory person, like you can hear conversation. Well, not like you can hear, but you can hear conversations. Then you can hear him telling you what you want him to say to you. If you can hear his voice, you can hear him telling you that and play it on a loop over and over and over again for just a couple minutes, or even just for a minute. Just hear him telling you exactly what you want him to say, and he will say it. Okay, you can affirm for it, or you can, if you're a visualizer, you can visualize you and your SP having a conversation where he tells you exactly that. Just a 5-second scene of him sitting there telling you that, him sitting there telling you that. Okay, that will work. Well, poor Temps, stop sabotaging. Job done. I'm sorry, who the fuck has white privilege? What are we, in the 40s? Are we in the 40s? There's no such thing as white privilege anymore, unless you decide it is. We don't do racism around here. Sorry. Tululu. Tululu. Okay, there we go. That's what I said. I'm like, we all have privilege, right? What the fuck is white have to do with anything? Good Lord. We are not in the 20s anymore. He asked to come over, but I refuse as I don't want to be a 3P. No. No. So, Natalie, you need to flip those. Okay? You're not the gutter trash. She's the gutter trash. Okay? That's how it is. She's the gutter trash, not you. Not you. So, I would have, this is just petting me, I would have him come over. Why not? Why not? And escalate the relationship from there. Okay? Because you have to remind yourself this. If there wasn't trouble in the paradise, why in the fuck would he come and see you? Why would he even ask to come over? Why? If he was so committed to the gutter trash. If he was committed to gutter trash, he wouldn't be talking to you. He wouldn't be trying to come over and see you. You have to understand that. So there's definitely trouble in that paradise. So I definitely wouldn't find it hard to view that he's clearly not committed to gutter trash, as he's trying to come over to be with you. Well, obviously there's no commitment there, because he's committed to me, bitch. Yeah. I mean, but that's just me. But that's what I would do. Oh, shit. I love you. I love you, Taylor Morgan. See? Because it works. It works to flip the tables. That's right. You flip the tables and then, hey, you know what? Let the dominoes fall where they fall. That ain't your problem. I was jumping off, said go get an STD check and went back to getting ready to leave. She's listening. You guys have to, let me go with poor times. Okay, let's go with poor times here. Hey, James. Yeah, you okay, poor times? You can get over self-sabotaging by literally doing the opposite, okay? Not identifying with self-sabotaging, okay? When you identify, like, why do I keep sabotaging myself? That's true for you, right? Versus like, no, I'm going to course correct. I'm going to persist. When you persist, things change because you're persisting. And you're persisting and you're persisting, and the self-sabotage goes away because you're persisting. Okay? So you must persist through it, okay? You need to persist through it. Yeah, Natalie, 5 years, fuck that. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, go get your man now. Go get your man now. Be like, no, 5 years, I don't think so. That's gutter trash. I'm his ace boom coon. I'm his girlfriend, period. And I'm going to go get my shit. And I'm going to create that wedge, let her play her part, because they always play their part perfectly. Everyone plays their part perfectly. And I'm going to go get what's mine. My man. That's who I'm going to go get right now. Yeah, flashy. You can literally be like, you can literally for some of your, just flip some of your affirmations, not all of them, right? But some of them, it's like, why is he moving back in right now? Why is he moving back in? Why is he coming home right now? Why is he coming home right now? So that we can be together. Why is he coming home right now so we can be together? Okay. And also you want him to come to your front door, right? So why is he coming over every day to have coffee with me? Okay. You can do that. No, they don't counteract themselves. Ugh. Chat for hours at a time on DMs. I hate texting. I'm just kidding. I'm more of a texter and a talker. I'm leaving next week for vacation. I wish he was coming with me. Yeah. You know, I'd take my ass on a vacation right to his hometown. Just saying. Just saying, prima donna. If I was going to choose where I'm going on vacation, I'd go there. Especially if I know he's looking at my stuff. If I know he's looking at my stuff, guess what I'd also do? Take pictures of places where he would absolutely know where I'm at. There. In his country. Canva King, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Whoa. Sorry. I got a little carried away. Okay. In case you are new here, I am your manifestation bestie. I teach you how to leverage the law of assumption to work in your favor. So if you haven't clicked that follow or subscribe button yet, go ahead. Do it now. Do it now. Also, okay, thank you, Priya. I got it. Also, if you are interested in having me manifest for you, or you want one-on-one coaching with me, I manifested my ISP back from no contact to fully living with me in a matter of only 4 weeks. So I'm here to help you do the same. So all links are in my bio, okay, where it's a superpower of mine to sit here and listen to your backstory, tell you where you're going wrong. We recreate your SP on the spot, curate affirmations, lay out a very simple plan so that we can, get your SP conforming now. Okay. I have hundreds of testimonials from people that are getting movement every single freaking day when nothing else was working for them in the past. I just haven't had time to post them yet. But my WhatsApp community, which is also free right now, go ahead and join that, where you can see all the success stories in there as well. Okay. I just posted one on my TikTok stories. Okay. Also, if you want, I have a live event coming up April 4th. It is going to be on Zoom. It is not in person. It's going to be on Zoom, where I'm going to help you release your negative emotions. So therefore you're clear, you're not feeling drained, your shit is right and tight, and you're fresh energy, and no more negative emotions holding you back. Plus, I'm also going to give you a bonus, which is not on this. It's not on the order form. Okay. But I'm going to give you a bonus. Of course you did, Brittany. Of course you did. I'm also going to give you a bonus where I'm going to help you release your negative beliefs as well. That's already, it gets shot to you right away. So go ahead and join that. You also get lifetime access to the replays. I also go live here every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. So at that, if you ever miss a live, doesn't even matter. Go ahead and head on over to the Tube of You, where they are posted there every single day. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button. Okay. Also, be sure to, and if you're on YouTube watching this, go ahead and follow me on TikTok. And all the links for you, YouTube land, is in the description. Okay. But yeah, subscribe there, let them play. They're long AF, so let them go ahead and play on the background. Mute the volume, I don't really care. Help me get my watch hours up so that we can help people realize it's about leveraging the law of assumption. It's not about following the law, because that's whack and boring. When you can actually leverage the law to work in your favor, okay? It makes manifesting a lot more easy and fun, okay? When you can play the petty game at the same damn time. All right. So, and coaching is filling up really fast, by the way. So I am going to be opening up 2 more hour-long time slots per day so that I can fit you guys in. So if you guys are pushed out and want to move your time, like if you go and, let's say you go and register for a coaching call today and it doesn't let you book one for 2 weeks, that's fine. That's fine. Just book it anyway. And then send me a message asking to move it up. And then we can fit you in somewhere. Okay? Okie dokie. And also, if you want me to manifest for you, we do jump on a quick call so I can discuss your current situation. Excuse me. And help you figure it out. Oh yeah. I do also offer text coaching. Okay. Text coaching where you get unlimited text coaching for 30 days where we keep you accountable and hold your hand through the process. Okie dokie. Well, son of a bitch, Lisa. I thought there was something missing. Because I was like, I thought I had another call, but it wasn't on my calendar. I'll call you. Okay? Okie dokie. So, let's go ahead and clear some energy. Okay? Because this mom has to go to the bathroom. I'm definitely going to fucking call you. Yeah, James, what is going on, my friend? You're always usually very positive. What is going on? Hey, Alexandra. Oh yeah, James, I will message you back too on WhatsApp, okay? Let's get you moving, okay? Angela, I will call you too, okay? Ow. My legs hurt, but I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay, so let's go ahead and do... All right, Christina, let's do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear the energy, okay? Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and clear the energy. This is going to cleanse that energy between you and SP, okay? Where no, you're not wiping them out of your reality. What you're doing is, it must be, girl. It must be, CC. What you're doing is you're creating fresh energy. Okay, we need to dead the stale energy. Okay, and put you back in a positive mindset, like a positive place, which we're going to talk about soon. Okay. Because there's that. Because I've been noticing a whole lot of, look, we'll get into that. We'll get into the negativity that's cracking off. I don't like it. Anyway, we're going to talk about the negative energy. We're going to release the energy, okay? So we're going to do what we do, a cord cutting here, where you're going to cut that energy. When I did this, I had an ex reach out to me within 72 hours that I hadn't talked to in over 8 years. Okay, and had no desire to manifest him back. I was just cleansing the energy. So this works very, very fast if you do it. Don't worry if you're not a massive visualizer. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's the concept, right? I do all the things. Like I go up and I cut the cord, right? I don't visualize myself cutting the cord. I actually go up and I cut the cord. I pull the roots out like that, right? That's what I do. And so I immerse myself in that experience, okay? Now, when you do that, shift changes, okay? Things change, you start to get progress, okay? So, that's what we are going to do. All right. So, let's get ready to find a nice comfy place where you can sit down. Okay, cool. A nice comfy place for you to sit down, and you're going to close your eyes, okay? Oh, I got it flashy. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take 3 breaths in and out, okay? Just relax for a moment. Okay, now I want you to imagine that you are in a theater. And in this theater, it's a dark theater. And in front of you, there's a stage. And on that stage, there's a single stage light that goes from the top of the ceiling into the center of the stage. I want you to stare into that light for just a moment. Now, as you stare into that light, you start to notice that you're not alone in this theater. And in fact, you can see off in the distance, in the back of the stage, out of the light, a shadowy figure. And as you direct your attention to the shadowy figure, you start to notice that that's your SP. Now I want you to say your SP's name. I want you to call them to the center of the stage and into the light. Now, as they step into the light, I want you to notice their facial features, their physical features, and you also notice that there's a gold cord that runs from the center of their third eye into your third eye. Now I want you to ask your SP these two questions, and I want you to hear them respond. If you can hear their voice, great. If you can't, that's okay too. Okay, I want you to ask them right now, do you support me? Hear your SP tell you, yes. Now ask them, do you love me? Again, hear your SP tell you, yes. Now I want you to say these 4 phrases to your SP. This time they're not going to respond. I want you to look into your SP's eyes right now. And I want you to tell your SP, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now I want you to reach up with your hands as if they're a pair of scissors. And I want you to cut that gold cord. Do it now. And as you cut that gold cord and that cord begins to fall to the ground, I want you to reach up with your other hand and I want you to grab those roots from that cord out of your third eye and just toss them aside. And as that cord continues to fall to the floor, your SP starts to float away like a balloon. And it gets smaller and smaller and farther and farther. And they get smaller and smaller and smaller until they just disappear. Now I want you to take one deep breath in and back out. And open your eyes. All right, now I want to remind you that you can do this with anybody. Anybody. There's no limits. So let's say you have a mother, not your mother. It could be your SP's mother. Maybe your SP has a sister, someone in your family, could be in your family or it could be in their family that you feel doesn't care for you. Or it tends to be somebody who's intrusive in your relationship. Well, you can cut that energy with them too. Okay? So if you have a problem with one of his children, they don't like you. You have a problem with a family member, they don't like you. Yeah, that's a negative energy floating away. All of that stuff, you can literally cut the cord with anybody that you feel you need a fresh start with. Somebody that is, yeah, James. Well, you can have them all be the same, okay? So you can do the whole exercise all the way up to you see shadowy figures standing in the back of the stage. And you call one up at a time. So you could literally be like, let's say the mom, your SP's mom's name is Sarah, right? You could be like, Sarah, come to the center of the stage. Do you support me? Do you love me? You hear them tell you yes, okay? That's the key. Whether you think it or not right now, it doesn't matter. You hear them tell you yes. And then you cut that energy cord, they float away. Call up the next person. Cut that energy, same process. Cut that energy cord, they float away. Now cut up the same. And then you call up the next person, cut that same process, but you don't have to go through the whole thing all over again. It's just like 1, okay, cut. 2, come on up. Cut. 3, come on up. Like an audition, right? Absolutely can. Absolutely, Bliss. Okay, so now let's do the photo method. Okay, now we're going to do the photo method. The photo, grab your picture of your SPs, okay, while I speak. So the photo method is, now that you have fresh energy, we want to talk to your SP, okay? You can use the photo method for anything that you want. You could tell them what to do. You can tell them, Flashy, you're coming to have coffee with me today, right? You can tell them anything that you want outside of this exercise that you want them to do. You're contacting me on my birthday. Yeah, you're contacting me on my birthday. You're going to Comic-Con with me this weekend. Any of that stuff, you are in control, okay? You talk to your SPs throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? So you can use those and be like, no, you're coming to see me this weekend, by the way. Just so you know, you're taking me to dinner tonight, okay? All of that stuff, right? Is you can have that, yeah, okay? And so for the sake of this exercise, we need to get you over the first hurdle of contact, okay? You need to start accepting different behavior from SP than what you're currently getting, okay? So we're gonna do that now, okay? So I want you to go down memory lane, and I want you to remember your SP when you first met. The SP that just checked all the boxes, right? He was so perfect. He told you all the things you wanted to hear. He was just everything. Your perfect person. Okay, I want you to go to that version of your SP right now, and I want you to just spend 20 seconds and remember that person. Remember that version of your person. Okay, and remember how they made you feel. Who were they as a person? How did they make you feel? How did they treat you? How do they, who were they as your specific person? Recall that version of your SP right now. Forget who they were 5 seconds ago. And I want you to take that version of your SP, your perfect person, and I want you to bring your perfect person into your current reality right now. Right now. Bring them here. The version of them, the only version of your SP that exists, is your perfect person right now. No more old story. It doesn't matter who they were 30 seconds ago. That version of them no longer exists, not in your reality. The only version of your SP that exists from this day forward, from right now, moving forward, is your perfect person. Hold on to this person. Because in your reality, your perfect person calls you, texts you, constantly spends time with you, wants to be with you, loves you, is obsessed with you. That is now who they are for you right now. Nothing else. Now, if you are new here, you're going to put on your crown. If you are not new here, Lisa, I want you to straighten your fucking crown. Do it now. Straighten that bitch. We don't take our crowns off here. We wear them 24/7. 24/7. We don't settle. We get what we want, and we get it when we want it. That is now who you are. That is now who you are right now. When kings and queens give commands, do they question, check, wonder, worry, or doubt that their command will be fulfilled? I know you know who you are, Lisa. I love you. No, they don't. They don't question. They don't need to check. They don't need to do any of that because they know I give a command and they have to fulfill it. That's what kings and queens expect. That is now who you are. That is now who you are. So you're going to expect them to do what you want them to do right now. Okay? Now, you have your SP's picture up. If you are in no contact or you're in contact but it is not consistent contact, then you're going to look at their photo and you're going to give your command. If you're alone, say it out loud, a little bit of backbone. If you're not alone, say it in your mind, don't look like a wacko, okay? And you're gonna say, you can say contacting, texting, or calling. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, okay? Because however they would naturally contact you is exactly how they're gonna contact you, okay? So you wanna say something like, you're texting me right now. You're texting me right now. You're texting me right now. Okay? Now, if you're in constant contact with your SP, you can move to the second part. You can either say you're contacting me right now, or just to prove your innate power, or you can move to the next step and say you're coming to see me today. You are coming to see me today. You're coming to see me today. Okay? If you are in a situationship or a relationship with your SP, then you can have fun with this. You can get them to do whatever you want. Date. You can say you're coming to see me today. You can tell them you're cooking me dinner tonight. You're bringing me dinner tonight. You're buying me flowers today. You're going to rub my feet tonight. You're giving me sexy time tonight. We're having sexy time tonight. You know what I'm saying? Date. Okay. You could tell them to do anything you want today. Okay. So have fun with this. Okay. This is what it's all about. Okay. So give your commands. I'm going to pause this live like I do every day. Give your commands right now and expect them to contact you. And we're back. All right. Okay. Mary. That's what we need to talk about. Okay. Listen up. Not every day, not every second of your day is going to be picture perfect for you, right? Not every second of your day is going to be that way because we've operated so long. Like, think about how old you are right now. We operated so long off of automatic thoughts, negative thoughts. And all that stuff is what we operated for so long doing. Okay, so now we're retraining ourselves to do something else, okay, to do something else and to take control of our thoughts. So not every day is going to be, not every second of your day is going to be picture perfect for you, but it's okay. Course correct. Okay. Mara was on here earlier and you all saw she found my live, a couple days ago, if that. Because she was usually when people come here, they're usually a mess at first, right? Because something just happened. Okay, she was a mess. And she didn't understand. And so we coached her through it. I coached her through the process here on my live. And what happened to her? She couldn't wait to jump on here. She changed her fucking name on here, so it was confusing. But she came on here and she said, he just texted me and now he's coming over. Okay? You have to give yourself some grace. You have to give yourself some slack. You're never letting me down. You're letting them down. You're letting yourself down. That's all this is. It's about evolving and basically giving yourself some fucking slack. But we gotta stop with the negativity shit. We have to stop with the negativity. We do. Because it doesn't do you any good. It does not do you any good to jump in the WhatsApp group and bitch, whine, and moan and groan about how you're spiraling. How is that helping? First of all, how is that helping you? And second of all, how in the fuck is that helping the community as a whole? It's not. Because everybody's on the same journey. Everyone's on the same journey as you. Okay? So, I'm not saying we need to have maybe a group in there that's just cry about your shit. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a group. Create a group in there, and if you don't want to be a part of it, or if you don't want to listen to it, then don't join it. Okay, don't join it. And it's just going to be called "Cry About Your Shit." Yeah, cry about it. And so, therefore, you go in that group and you cry about your shit, dump your shit, and whoever wants to be a part of that can join if they want to help support you. But therefore, it's not left into the general tab because people are there to be inspired. They're there to be encouraged. They're there for positivity, not to hear people just bitching about the shit all fucking day long. It's fucking stupid, to be quite frank. It's fucking stupid. Because you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not helping yourself at all. At all. Because when you keep yourself crying about shit, you keep yourself in victim mentality over and over and over again. Let me victimize myself. How can I victimize myself again? How can I victimize myself again? And what's accomplished from that? Nothing. You don't go in that group, dump your shit on the group, and then be like, now I feel better. Now I feel better. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Okay? At all. You don't feel fucking better at all at any time. So stop doing that shit. Grow up. Grow up. And stop fucking whining. Stop whining, bitching, moaning, and groaning about your shit and then expecting it to just fall into your lap somehow. It's not going to do. All you're doing is keeping your shit right there in place. Keep it in place. Keep it in place. Keep it in place. I don't want shit to change in my reality, so I'd rather just bitch about it all fucking day long. Versus, let me grow up, let me get a grip, and let me get what I want. Instead, let me regroup. Let me refocus. It's okay if you had it's okay if you had a down day. It's okay if you had a down fucking 5 minutes. But pick yourself back up and push forward and push forward and push forward and push forward over and over and over again. Because that's all you need to do is persist. If you would persist instead of whining about your shit all the time, and being a victim, if you would just simply say, persist, I'm going to persist, well, then guess what? It's going to conform. It doesn't have a choice, but you keep wavering between persisting, quitting, persisting, quitting, persisting, quitting, persisting, quitting. How's that working out? How the fuck is that working out? There's nothing that makes these people that are getting movement any different than you. Any different than you. Except that you're constantly in your own head saying, I'm doing something wrong. They're getting movement. Let me go ahead and private message them on the side and be like, what are you doing? What the fuck do you mean, what are they doing? They're doing what I said to do. That's it. That's all she wrote. So you don't need to go and message people off to the side like, what are you doing? What are your affirmations? Like there's some miracle affirmation out there that will unlock every fucking thing for you. Like, oh yeah, it's just that, oh, that's the miracle affirmation. No, it's not. It's whatever you tell yourself. Okay? But so many of you do that shit where the second one person says they post a success story, their DMs are blowing up. What'd you do? What are your affirmations? And guess what? They're all telling you the same shit. I persisted. I persisted. I did what Jen said. I persisted. And therefore, they're getting movement. They're getting movement. They're getting movement. They're getting movement. Over and over and over again. Nothing makes them any different than you except for the fact that you're fucking checking shit all the day long. You're constantly asking questions. You're constantly asking questions. You can't do that. You can't do that where you're like, well, how long did it take for you? How long have you been doing this? The fuck, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I don't care if it takes a month. That's how long it took me. I don't care if it takes a month for me to get my full manifestation as long as I get it. You think I give a shit? I don't care. And you need to stop caring. You need to stop focusing on the time. Stop focusing on the time. And literally sit there and say, fuck time. Time is an illusion. I don't give a shit how long it takes. It's not going to take long at all. If I would just persist, if I would act like an adult and I would grow up and I would persist, doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter how much time it takes. Do you think I was clocking the time, sitting there like, I've been doing this shit for 7 fucking days and I still don't have a text message. What in the shit? No, I wasn't. I wasn't looking at the time about anything. I just sat there and I persisted in my affirmations. Then I started getting movement. So I continued to persist. And then I continued to persist. Then I got more movement and more movement and more movement because I persisted through it all. I gave meaning to everything that I wanted it to mean. I didn't ask questions. I didn't ask shit. I literally sat there and applied whatever meaning I wanted it to mean. If it meant that man went to Costco 150 times this month, it's exactly where he went. Because I didn't give a shit. What did I want to, it wasn't going to benefit me to think the opposite at all. At all. It never was going to benefit me to think any of that stuff. So I assigned meaning to every fucking thing that I saw. Everything was a sign. Everything was a sign. Everything had meaning that I wanted it to have. I didn't sit there and be like, well, let me give it a meaning, even though this is something that's going to hurt my goddamn fucking feelings. This is going to hurt my feelings, but let me give it that meaning instead. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Why, if I'm going to assign a meaning to something, why I would want to assign a negative meaning to shit versus a positive meaning over and over and over and over again. If I have to do that, that's what I'm going to do. If I have to sit there and lie to myself all day long, that's what I'm going to fucking do. I'm going to live in my own delusion of assigning whatever meaning I want that shit to have over and over and over again. And you know what? Things shift, things shift, things shift over and over again because you're disciplining yourself. You're only assigning positive meaning to everything. You're only looking at the best in this person, not the worst. Ever. For what? For what? You don't want the worst, so why do you look at the worst in them? Instead, you need to get a grip, and sit there and say no. Actually, everything is working out perfectly. Everything worked out even better than I expected. Everything worked out better than I expected, period. Because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So your job is not to question a goddamn thing at all. You don't need to question shit. I don't care how bad it may look right now. Shift happens instantly. 1 second, you could have gone months without talking to the person. Now all of a sudden they're blowing your shit up and you can't get a second alone because they won't leave you alone. And now all of a sudden they want to see you and they want to be with you. It could all happen within 24 hours. If you would persist and stop focusing on the fucking time every second chance you get and stop getting pissed off over and over and over again and beating yourself up over and over and over again and being the victim of fucking everything. You're not a victim of a goddamn thing. So you need to get a grip, pull yourself together and say, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move forward because this works. This is working right now. And I'm going to get what I want over and over and over again. And I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to keep saying it. 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 Because all I need is repetition. And the more I can repeat something, the more it must push out. It doesn't have a fucking choice. The more I persist in what I want and I don't react, then it must push out. It doesn't have a choice. It has to push out. And so you just have to know that. And you have to remember that. Like, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Waver, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter. Push forward again. Push forward again. Oop, I wavered. Doesn't matter. Push forward again. That's what that means. Okay? That's what that means. We would not be living together right now if I did not push forward and persist and persist and persist, no matter what I fucking saw. No matter what I saw, no matter what I was told, I persisted and I pushed forward. And boom, full manifestation. Because I refused to quit. I refused to fold. I refused to do a goddamn thing. I refused to accept anything that I didn't like in my reality. I refused to accept anything that I was told that I didn't like in my reality. Am I going to sit there and act like I'm this master-ass bitch and just perfect and never thought about anything that was said? No, but I persisted through it. The second that came up, the second the conversation came up, nope, no. He's so in love with me, he wants to live with me. He is so in love with me, he wants to live with me. He is so in love with me, he wants to live with me. I didn't give a shit. Even now, I don't care. If anybody tells me anything I don't like, I persist right through it. I don't give a shit. No, I've came too far. And you all have came way too far to be in your own goddamn head all the fucking time, bullshitting around with yourself over and over and over again, beating yourself up like you're a fucking punching bag in your own reality. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Persist in your affirmations. You don't need to change shit. You just need to persist and persist and persist and only see the best in your SP. Period. See them as a great person. They are. Why the fuck are you manifesting them back? If they're so awful, they're not. So persist in that version of your SP, persist in your affirmations, and persist in keeping yourself on that fucking pedestal. Don't worry about the time. Just keep pushing forward. Because right now you're playing tug of war with your fucking self. 1 minute you're feeling great, the next minute you're not. 1 minute you're feeling great, the next minute you're not. For what? For what? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I refused to do that to myself. I refused to do that to myself, period. I refused to accept anything I didn't want, and I moved forward over and over and over again. And I got exactly what I wanted, exactly how I wanted it to be. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do every second of the day, is focus on what you want. This is in life. This is in life, to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. Check your thoughts throughout the day. You have a negative thought come up about money throughout your day? No, I'm rich as fuck. I'm super rich. Why am I so damn rich? Move on, move on, move on, and persist over and over and over again. Exactly. Exactly. You're the only reason your SP is not conforming. You're the only reason that it's stalling. Stop doing that. Yes, Nesp. You should have no more than 4 to 5 affirmations, because the more you can repeat them, the more you'll get that shit in there. You can have 10 to 12 affirmations or 20 affirmations, doesn't even matter, that you rampage, okay? So you only say those twice a day, but it's more specific rampaging, okay? But you should only have a set of affirmations that you stick with, okay? But you guys shouldn't be checking shit. You don't need to be checking the 3D over and over and over again. For fucking what? For what? You don't need to check. How many times do I have to tell you that? There's nothing to check, because you will automatically get confirmation every time. You don't need to check for shit, because you checking is implying what? That it's not here. That it's not here. You're checking over and over and over again. You're stalking their social media. You're checking their social media over and over again. For what? Because you know what that means? It's obviously not here. It's obviously not here. You're reacting to everything they post on social media, which is telling you and telling your subconscious mind, it's not here yet. Oh, he's still an asshole. Oh, got it. Oh, he's still a dick. Got that. Oh, you're still not together. Okay, roger that. Oh, he still wants to mess with other people. Roger that. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. That's all your subconscious mind is going to tell you is you're right. So what do you want it to be right about? You want it to be right that he wants to be with you and mess with other people? Or that there's a gutter trash and he'd rather be with gutter trash than you? Or that he's out there living his best ass life without you? Is that what you want to be right about? That you're not together? Is that what you want to be right about? Because regardless, you're going to be right. Because your subconscious mind has one job, and that is to prove you right. So what do you want it to prove you right about? That should be what you dominate. That should be what you dominate in your train of thoughts. And to remind yourself these, I used to have daily reminders that I would write down to remind myself, I control his thoughts 100% of the time. No one has free will in my reality except for me. I am the master at manifesting. I always get what I want, and I get it when I want it. And everything always goes my way. Everything worked out even better than I expected. You know, my subconscious mind, I didn't have to say this because this is my background, but your subconscious mind has one job, and that is to prove you right. So all day long, I need to make sure that I'm telling my subconscious mind what I want to be proven right about over and over and over again, because it must push out. Just like it proved me right about my breakup. Just like it proved me right about him being an asshole when I told myself he was an asshole after our argument. Yep, got proven right about that. Oh, yep, I went ahead and I did that. Oh, yeah, that pushed out. So why can't you do the opposite? It's the same shit. It's the same thing. The difference is you didn't question it back then, did you? No. You questioned your relationship, but you weren't out there checking the fucking 3D for evidence of that, were you? No. You told yourself that, had a couple momentary thoughts about that, and then boom, manifested the breakup. You weren't out there checking the 3D for evidence of that shit. Okay? You thought he seemed a little different. Maybe there's somebody else involved, and boom, you got confirmation of gutter trash. You weren't out there checking for that back then, were you? I don't think so. I don't think so. You only thought about it, but you also didn't obsess over that either. Did you? No, you didn't. Okay, you didn't obsess over that. You thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. You weren't obsessively walking around town like, is today the day he's breaking up with me? He's breaking up with me today. He's breaking up with me today. I think he's breaking up with me today. Is he breaking up with me today? You didn't do that. So you don't have to do that again to get what you want. You don't. What you need to do is drop the obsession and sit there and be like, no, I just thought about it and it pushed out. I didn't give it another fucking option. I didn't know about the law back then. So I just thought about something a handful of times and boom, manifested. Because why? I didn't overthink about it. I didn't obsess over it. I was completely neutral to it. I just had a thought and it pushed out. So it's the same thing when you're consciously manifesting. It's the same analogy when you're consciously manifesting is to say, okay, I don't need to overanalyze this shit. I don't need to overthink it. I don't need to freaking obsess over it. I don't need to check my 3D because I didn't do any of that shit to manifest all the shit that I didn't want out of my relationship. I didn't do any of that. So why do I have to do that now? Why am I finding myself doing that now? I didn't do that before. So I don't need to do it now. Your SP should be no different than any other one of your, look at it this way. Why are you checking? Do you go down? Do you have like a whole list of all your exes and check all their social medias? Do you do that every day? You go through your running list of ex-boyfriends and check all their social medias? No, you don't. So why do you do it for this one? For what? For what? It doesn't benefit you. And I've told you a million times that if you can't get off their social media, then affirm the entire time you're looking at their social media. Affirm, 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 affirm. Therefore, your subconscious mind doesn't know. It doesn't know what you're looking off. Oh, flashy. Uh-oh, my bad. So you have to know this. Do you understand? Do you understand? You have to do things differently. Stop suffocating the shit over and over again. Stop doing that. Because it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. It's not helping you now. And it certainly isn't making you feel good. It would totally be different if it made you feel better. But it fucking doesn't. It doesn't. It's like when you argue with your SP, do you feel better after the argument? No, you don't. Now you're fucking pissed off. Now you're all upset. So why would you do that? Exactly, Jerry. That's what I tell people. Social media is not real, but social media very much has caused a lot of problems in relationships. A lot of problems in relationships. That's their main, I think that's their main algorithm. They just don't tell you that. We update social media just so we can cause more drama in relationships. You know why? Because now, here you are. Because now, here you are going on our platform even more. Because now you're going to stalk your SP, but don't trip. Don't trip. Because we have implemented all the appropriate stalking tools for you for social media. Because we want you to have problems. We wanted to create problems in your relationship. Therefore, you now use our platform even more. Because now you can't get off their shit. When you weren't doing that before. Yeah, that happens all the time. So you guys need to learn to get off that shit. Not worry about it. It is not on the priority spectrum for me and my boyfriend to follow each other on social media. For what? He has zero desire. Honestly, he has zero desire to follow me at all. He doesn't want to watch my videos. He's like, for what? He doesn't want to watch my videos. Doesn't matter. You know, he doesn't subscribe to my YouTube channel. For what? For what? You know what I'm saying? Because that's not, sorry, because that doesn't, whether we follow each other on social media does not define our relationship. That is the dumbest shit in the planet. If you need that to validate your relationship, well, then that's part of your problem. Because you're not 5. You're a grown-ass adult. You're literally a grown-ass adult. But so many of you are like, I just want him to follow me on Instagram. The fuck are you talking about? For what? For what? So it can cause problems in your relationship? Is that why you want him to follow you on Instagram? Because that's what happens to a lot of people. So I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd rather spend the weekend with my honey, and I'd rather him live with me than follow me on Instagram. That shit's fucking stupid. Where's the priority spectrum here when it comes to you and your relationship? It's fucking stupid. It is so stupid. So you all need to stop and knock off the dumb shit. Yeah, you need to knock off the dumb shit. 1,000%, Jerry, I believe it stems from insecurities. Insecurities that people are creating within themselves, right? Is like, it becomes an obsession. That's the problem. Is it becomes, you first check because of an insecurity, right? Want to know what they're doing. But then, like everything else, it becomes a habit. The more you check their social media, exactly. My boyfriend has zero desire. He's like, no, I'm good, thank you. You have to understand that love you too, Terry. It creates a habit in you, okay? Because you do it once, fine. Then you find yourself doing it again and again and again. And like everything, right? It's repetition. So you're repeatedly checking their social media. Now it's like you have to go through like withdrawals to not check their social media. It's like you have to go through like a complete cleansing withdrawal to like a drug withdrawal, because it becomes so, you become so obsessed with checking their social media because it's a habit now. It's a habit now. You can't not do it over and over and over again. And you've created that habit. So why don't you, just like you repeatedly check their social media, why don't you use repetition to benefit you? Since you like to do repetition that doesn't benefit you, ask yourself, what would happen? Just what would happen if I used my repetition to actually benefit my ass, instead of doing things and creating habits that don't serve me a purpose at all? In fact, they do nothing but trigger and trigger and trigger and trigger and trigger over and over and over again. I would not want to do things that trigger me over and over and over again. At all. But there's so many ways, like you guys will see that they're online. Okay. And you guys turn it into a negative thing. But I always flipped it. This is just my nature, is I gave, again, meaning to everything that I wanted it to mean. And I was like, of course, he's so fucking bored at home. Why wouldn't he be on Instagram? Why not? Of course he's on Instagram, because he doesn't want to talk to anybody but me. It's like, that's what I was saying over and over and over again, because I didn't give a shit. I certainly wasn't. No, hold on. My parents lose their mind. Do you understand? Because they check. Because you can, if you literally would go on your Instagram messages, if you guys have exchanged messages, it shows that, again, with the algorithm of social media, it loves to show you when they're online. Just like it loves to show you when they read your messages. It loves to, now they're like, would you like to turn on your location? Fuck the, no. How about that? No. Like, would you love to show the entire world where you're at? No, I would not, because those are followers. You don't even know half of the followers. But then you guys go and obsess over that shit. Oh, I saw that he was friends with this person. So what? I saw he's friends with his ex. So what? This shit is fucking stupid. It's so stupid over and over and over again. But you guys do this to yourselves. Where you like literally will go and like click on like you have nothing else to do, that you're literally on their profile, clicking on their friends. But God forbid they have a lot of friends, because that's a daunting task. So now you click on their friends, and now you don't give a shit about the guy friends, but now you're clicking on all females' profiles. For fucking what? For what? They're called followers for a reason. Because they're followers. They may have never, for all you know, they've never even talked to a goddamn one of them. At all. So what? I don't even go in my DMs. Well, Mimi, they can, if you let them. Okay? So it's like, then you go now, and now you're comparing yourself to their female friends. For what? And you have to understand, I have a lot of friends on Facebook. So, and yes, some of them are my exes. So, it's not like we're in the DMs exchanging hot, steamy fucking conversations. No, we're not. Okay? Same on Instagram. I have very amicable friendships with my exes, with a fair amount of them. Okay? And so a lot of them follow me on Instagram, and a lot of them will constantly, like, I have 3 or 4 of my ex-boyfriends are constantly in my DMs every day. Every fucking day. They'll send me like dozens of reels. So what? Why is that a problem? Who cares? It's completely platonic. And that's what you have to realize. God forbid you're dating, an adult. God forbid you're dating a grown-up that, or a mature person. They're allowed to have conversations. They're allowed to exchange funny fucking reels with their exes. Who gives a shit? Who cares? My boyfriend could care less because they're literally just funny memes. So what? You don't have to worry about it. So you need to drop the dumb shit. You need to drop the dumb shit. Okay? Who cares? Who cares? And who the fuck has time to do all that? Who has to, instead of doing all of that, what you guys could be doing, because same amount of time, same amount of energy, instead of doing all of that, what you could be doing is affirming. Focusing on what you want. Exactly. Affirming. And focusing on what you want instead of spending hours going through their social media profile, taking an inventory of who hearted their pictures and shit. Who gives a fuck? Do you think they're in control of any of that? They're not. They're not in control of any of that. So they make a post. A handful of bitches like their post. They're not in control of that. But you're blaming them for fucking what? For what? You think I care if my man follows half-naked women on fucking Instagram? No, I don't care. But then again, I'm the type of person that will happily bring him to a strip club because I really don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm not a hater. I don't need to hate. I don't need to hate. I will be the first person to acknowledge if another woman's beautiful. So what? And? We'll go out to dinner or we'll go somewhere and I'll be like, you're checking out her. I'm like, you're checking out her ass, aren't you? He's like, I think it's real. I was like, yeah, it is. He's like, how can you tell? I was like, the way it is. So what? I'm not like, I can't fucking believe you. Oh my God, I can't believe you're looking at her ass. I'm an adult. And I know I'm a bad bitch. So you think I really give two shits? No. I know what I'm worth. I know who I am. I'm very secure in myself. So I don't need to be a hater for every bitch that's fucking pretty. That's stupid. That's so stupid. They're allowed to look at the menu, ladies. That doesn't mean that they're cheating on you or want someone else. That's just stupid because you have to remember, it's not like you've never gone out. If you're honest with yourself, it's not like you have never gone out and been like, damn, he's hot. Have you? There's not a single actor. There's not a single actor or musician that you think is hot. So why is it okay for you to think other guys are hot? To think that athletes are hot, musicians are hot, and freaking actors are hot, but it's not okay for your honey. That's fucking stupid and immature. But yet, that's what you guys argue about. All the nonsense, all the bullshit. All the bullshit. If you literally took a step back and acted like an adult for 2 seconds and thought about your relationships and just thought about your relationship and thought about all the things you fucking argued about, you would see how stupid the arguments were and how petty the arguments were. You would see that. Because yeah, that was fucking stupid. Yeah. I did that. Oh yeah. That was fucking stupid too. Oh yeah. That argument was over something fucking stupid too. Yeah. Most of the time you argue over something that's really fucking stupid. Because you're acting like a juvenile adolescent. Okay? So, what did we learn? We learned that we need to act like an adult. Okay? We learned that we need to stay focused in our thoughts and only focus on what we want instead of focusing on what we don't want, because I've told you 10,000 times by now that it's the same amount of effort, same amount of energy. Every thought you process 60, 80,000 thoughts a day. Every one of those thoughts is an affirmation. Every thought is an affirmation, literally every thought. So what are you affirming all day long? Check your thoughts. Check your thoughts. Because if you have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, you know how many thoughts that is a day? That's a lot. And if every one of those thoughts is an affirmation, both positive and negative. Remember, affirmations are not just positive. They're negative. They're just the ones running on autopilot are the negative ones. No one's actually affirming all day long for negative shit. Okay? But the negative thoughts are still negative affirmations, which push out. So what are you thinking about all day long? What's your most dominant thoughts? Because those are what's curating. So if you're affirming, like, let's think logically here. If every thought I have is an affirmation and I'm consciously affirming whenever I have time throughout the day, not really a big deal. Whenever I have time, great. Okay, so there's that. So you've been affirming, we'll say 5,000 affirmations a day, right? Consciously, robotically affirming. You have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Now, that is also including the thoughts you have about work and everything else, right? But let's just say half of those are for about your SP, free roaming, free thinking thoughts, right? That's 30 to 40,000. I did that math pretty quick. I'm impressed with myself. That's 30 to 40,000 affirmations you're saying a day based on about your relationship and SP. If you're only consciously affirming, robotic affirming, 2,000 times a day, that's, we'll just say 10,000. Let's just say that you're doing it a lot, 10,000 times a day. Well, there's 30 to 40,000 thoughts going against what you're affirming for. Which one do you think is going to win? The one that you're doing the most. So, I'm not saying you have to affirm your life away, but you need to start thinking something differently. It doesn't help you to go down memory fucking lane about the bad shit, about the old story. You know, a lot of you guys will say, how do you ditch the old story? Stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it. And if you're going to think about the old story, only cherry pick the good ass memories out of that story, right? Just cherry pick the good memories. But why is it that when you guys think about the old story, your mind goes right to the negative, all the negative shit? That's it. You purposely jump over all the good memories just to dive right into the bad shit. For what? For what? Why would you do that? So if you're going to insist on thinking of the old story, then you should only think about the good shit of the old story, the positive memories of said old story, not the bad shit. This is not hard. This is not hard because I value my energy. Okay? I value my energy. And so I personally am not going to sit there and allow myself to go down bad shit lane. That doesn't make any sense to me because it's not helping you at all. At all. Let me just go down bad shit lane. Forget good shit lane. We're going down bad shit lane instead. I would not want to do that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I know it makes zero sense to you. Okay? I have a coaching call coming up. Like I said, I will get back to you, all of you, especially you, Lisa. But I do have literally back-to-back calls from now until 4 p.m. Literally. Back to back. Yes, we're going to get a shirt. Write that down, my admins. We're going to get a shirt that says, for what? For what? What is the point? You need to understand that shit. Okay? I'm going to get a shirt too. I'm going to get bracelets done for you guys. I'm going to get a coffee mug done that says WWJS. WWJS. What would Jen say? So therefore, you can sit there and when you read it, say, what would Jen say? Shit. She probably would tell me to shut the fuck up. She'd tell me to shut the hell up, get out of my own way, and fucking get a grip. That's what she'd tell me. Get a grip. That's going on a shirt too. Get a grip. Maybe a hat. Get a grip. So every time you wear it and look in front of the mirror, you'd be like, yeah, get a grip, bitch. Yeah, exactly. WWJS. What would Jen say? All right, guys, I love you. I got a jit. But if you want me to manifest for you, or you want one-on-one coaching by me so that we can go ahead and get your shit right and tight, and you can go ahead and get your ass conforming like it's going out of style, then go click all the links in my bio. Also sign up for my new upcoming event that's going to be on Zoom. You will get lifetime access to release your negative emotions. I'm also throwing in, it is active now, I am throwing in a eliminate your negative beliefs masterclass, course, whatever you want to call it. That's also in the bio, okay? Well, it's combined. You get both for one low price of $20, okay? What's your emotions worth to you? Okay, also, join our WhatsApp community before I create the stupid order form that literally takes 2 seconds. Better get it now, bitch. Better get it now while it's still free, okay? Because if you're in there before it goes to paid, then I'm not going to kick you out and make you pay. Okay, that's dumb. But we're going to start doing monthly challenges in there. Remember, I'm going to be doing yes, do that, doodles. I'm going to be doing private member Q&As on Zoom so that you can guys get your access. I'm going to be posting exclusive content in there as well. Okay, so also I go live every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. If you ever miss a live, I always upload them on the tube of you. So while you're there, subscribe, and then go ahead and click the, I know, seriously, Angela, subscribe, and then play my long ass lives on repeat. You know what I'm saying? And you can mute the volume. I don't really care. Let them play on a loop. Sync them all. And just mute the volume. Help me get my watch hours up so that I can go ahead and help more people realize it's all about leveraging the law of assumption. Oh, got it, doodles. So it's all about leveraging the law of assumption to work in your favor. Okay? That's what we do around here. So now I want you to, I'm going to end my live, but I'm going to need you to now put on your big girl pants, fix your crown, and today, go get what you want. Do you understand? Go get what you want. Stop settling. Stop getting in your own way. No more of that shit. Okay? All right. I love you guys. I love you, bestie. And James, yes, please shoot your shit back to the top, please, so I have your phone number. Okay? I love you, besties, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.